Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Beverli will be with us in about 20 minutes. I hope everyone's having a good day. Slightly new format to the show, and I'm very excited about it because I feel I'm very much a student of all this, right? Obviously, I have my journey, my faith that I've always been fairly vocal about. Um, but this, ever since I met Bev, ever since I met Asria, Danny Henderson, the fairies, okay, of the world, the giants, all of them, right? There's been some interesting things, okay, that have taken that have occurred that I've recognized as teachings, if you will, right? Not me already knowing something and someone pointing it out and having it confirmed, right? But actual confirmation of a couple of things. Now, I thought for the first half hour or so today, I would talk to you about my journey, about since I've been doing this with Beverli, the things that I've learned. And there is one thing that is being the most high impact on everything. Everything. Clairvoyance, card reading, uh, everything. And that is how to interpret what comes into your brain, right? And the easiest example I can give is if someone says, right, think of a number between, and don't do it, right? But think of a number between 1 and 20, right? And you're going to try and guess that number, right? What usually happens in the human condition is you get an initial burst of a number, and then you think about that number for a few seconds, then you doubt it, then it fades away, then another number comes. And I started realizing that it's the initial flash. It's interpreting just how subtle some magic really is. Hollywood, I wish it was like that. I wish it was like the way we see in Hollywood. But it's so subtle sometimes. And don't get me wrong, once you realize something and you pay more attention to it and you become more skilled at it, subtlety becomes fairly prevalent to people. The first thought, that's a brilliant way of putting it. It's a freaking brilliant way of putting it, mate. You know, how to sum something up in one sentence. And see, as a podcaster, I've got to kind of string it out. Do you know what I mean? So that's what, and it sounds so simple, right? It says, "Oh God, trust your intuition." Like it sounds so cliche, but for me, it has been the most high impactful moment on this journey, right? And I mean, when I say high impactful, I mean it instantly applied to about 6 or 7 things that I'm already very skilled at. Because there's one thing that Ron is very open about is the journey. But you very rarely hear Ron talk about any of his skill sets, right? The things that Ron's tuned into, the things that Ron is very, very, very good at. 2.5 decades close to worth of good at. And I think that's crucial to this journey and us traveling through this together, because I'm only showcasing new skill sets to you guys, and the cards is one of them, man. And tonight on my private, lovely, awesome, beautiful Discord, anyone who would like to come and join the VC, I'll drag you into the live room and I'll do a reading with you live. Now, I don't claim to be anything. Okay. I don't claim to be this or that or anything. I really, for me, witch is very fitting, and I'll take it. But I cannot tell you how profound some of the moments that I've had, not just with Beverli, but the whole network of people that Beverli's brought together. And nah, not warlock. Definitely not a warlock. I just want to put that out there right now. Bona fide witch. Okay, bona fide witch. And an alchemist too. Funky new age alchemist. So I'm going to pick some people from the side chat, right? And I'm going to do readings for as many people as I can do. But Ron can't do, oh, here's my birthday, pull me a card, right? That's not Ron. Ron needs to look at a core issue, right? That is being prevalent or recent or is something that is, there's always something there's always one thing more than others that rots us and stops us from progressing, keeps us on that low frequency. And I want to tune in to that. And then we're going to look at exactly how you can, in the best way, move forward from that. And if we need to, we're going to look at how you need to adapt yourself. Okay. And we do this with 3 decks of cards. And the first deck, which is where we find the problem, is the Dark Mirror set. I look at this as my problem finding deck. It looks for negativity, not so much in people, but in their life or the decisions or the choices they make. Then we move on to the Earth and Bone deck, which to me is a very neutral deck. You can interpret this deck beautifully because of the images and because of the words and the names of the cards. It's very, very good to go, neutral to very positive. And then the final one, which sometimes I don't use, is the Urban Crows, my original deck. And this is to look inside you as the person, if that makes sense. So there's the problem, the guidance, and then you as a core. So Ron doesn't even like pulling cards, right? Ron likes to shuffle a deck until one bounces out. Okay. And it was so weird, right? Today on a live stream, I was just shuffling the deck, just a nervous habit, shuffling the deck. And I was having a conversation about genealogy with somebody. And a card fell out of the deck that was called Roots. And on that card was the word genealogy, or it was something like that, right? Whatever the word was, it's the word I've been saying. And how can you argue with that? How? What is the likelihood that you are thinking of a word and a card falls out of a deck with that word on it? It's happened so many times, right? So that's why I don't call myself anything, right? Because technically, I don't really know what I'm doing, but I know what I'm doing when it comes to things that I'm learning. That sounded so dumb. So every Oracle deck comes with a set of instructions. Never read them, right? Never read them. Okay. It's really interesting, right? Because Oracle decks, all of it is meaningless, right? It's all meaningless. What we're talking about here is creating circumstance for guidance from a higher force on bits of card. Okay. We could do the exact same thing, in my opinion, with a freaking 3 different tombolas, right? And a freaking ping pong ball that rolls out. None of this, like, they look great. Don't get me wrong, they're awesome. But it's so unnecessary in the grandeur of all of this. Now, tarot is kind of like the final boss for me, right? Because it's the old one, right? You see the right kind of like gypsy lady staring at you with a set of tarot cards, and it can haunt you, right? but it's kind of like the Ouija board for me. They're both the same level of for me. It's just one that I don't want to mess with and one I'd really like to learn. And when it comes to the tarot deck, I'm a psycho about it. Like no one's allowed to touch it. No one's allowed. I'm very much, as I describe, I'm getting to know it. I'm at the chatting online stage with the deck. You know, we're getting to know each other. We're seeing if it's a good fit. And luckily there was a set that I got on Amazon for £8 where all of the stuff about the cards is written on the cards. So it's very much the the beginner's set. And for me, tarots aren't a big thing. I've got 2 sets of runes in front of me today. We're going to be throwing runes. We're going to be picking some runes. I've got clay runes, which were a gift from my mother, which are made out of clay. Again, very positive, comes from the ground, nature. And then I have a second set of runes, which is made out of some fancy. I tell you what, don't ever buy these runes. They look great, but they chip like a mofo, right? Some, I don't know, some freaking gemstone crap. But those are the ones that I like to throw. And we'll be doing some of that tonight. I've also got the coin if things get really frustrating. And I've got a second camera set up. So when we do this, you'll see everything that's going on the table in front of me, plus me up at the top. Ancestry. That was the word, right? That was the word. It was ancestry. Thank you. If you don't know what I'm talking about, that was the word that was on the card that was also being talked about previously on that live stream. Oh, also as well, I 100% trust the oracle cards. Just to be clear, like 100% trust the oracle cards. I trust them all. So I'm not taking anything away from anything. So, how you doing, babes? How you doing, babes? My wonderful fiance. There she is. How are we doing? Soak it up, ladies and gentlemen. There she is. But again, there's signs. You know, I've been seeing weird signs all day in places where there shouldn't be signs. We often take for granted just how loud magic is. For me, it is anyway. People are so quick to write things off. And I am so comfortable in the realm. I mean, I literally watched through the crack in a door 2 nights ago the shape of something moving through the, you know, when a door is open and where the hinge is, you've got that line, right? I watched something move from side to side. I watched it look as if it was looking down to look through the crack. It didn't even have an impact on me. I'm sitting there and I'm like, I can't believe this. I have no issue with what is happening right now. Because in order for anything to be in this house, their intention has to be so pure. But I had the maddest experience I've had in a long time with a ghost the other night. I was stood in the kitchen. I believe Dan was in the living room. And I fully felt, right? Somebody walk in behind me, right? And then grab a hold of my t-shirt and pull it as if they were to go around, pull my t-shirt on one side to make me look this way. And then they were gone. And I was convinced it was Dan, right? Like, felt the presence of a person, felt my t-shirt being pulled, looked round with a big smile. No one there. No one there. No one there. The other night, I'm sitting in the living room and this door here was wide open and the living room door was wide open. And I watched somebody push that door closed. Like the door went like this and then slowed down as if not to slam the door and then stopped when the door touched the hinge. No impact. Nothing. That stuff affects me in the same way as your dog walking through the living room would affect you. And as somebody who loves to self-analyze, is that not really fascinating? Because for me, working on the ability to sit there and not emotionally react to things like that is something that I have been aware of wanting to be able to do since I was 15. Honestly, it's crazy how many weird things that I do that nobody in the world would spend years like trying to reprogram their brain not to react if something appears out the corner of their eye. But I've done it. You know, I've really done it. And put a one in the side chat if you think that there is something going on with spirits and peripheral vision and certain entities that when you look at them, you just can't see them. But if they're in the peripherals or the corners of your eyes, you can make things out. Put a one in the side chat if you know what I mean. Put a two if you have no idea what I mean. Okay, interested because I've been trying to encourage the giants, right? The fairies are absolutely at the point of taking the complete Mickey out of me. Uh, like it's amazing. They are way more letting themselves way more be known now, physically as opposed to visually, except when I'm in bed, right? If I'm in bed, oh my God, wench. Oh, look at the doggo. Like if I'm lying in bed and what I do is I pick a point in the ceiling and I start talking to all the elementals, right? The newest one that showed up is like imagine a white shadow man, but massive, right? So I only ever see shoulders and head, and it's the most amazing thing going on here. You look at it and it kind of goes, right? But it's like a white shadow person, massive white shadow person, but not really shadowy. It looks more like someone's done a really crap job of trying to paint like some white onto like a dark room setting. I don't know. But awesome, like really incredible, really incredible. And then the fairies, they're doing their little sparkle things. And do you know what's really bad though? They like I feel things touching me, like exactly like what a spider falling off the ceiling would feel like. Do you know what I mean? So I'm assuming that's them just landing on me and trying to take the mic. You know, and then you know it's weird looking back. I have no idea when I was 20 why I took up tantra and being a vegan, right? And I'd done meditating and what the hell is it called? Aromatherapy and all of this for years. Out of the blue, for no reason, astral travel, right? So we'll get to that. And now, all those years of learning about, like when I was 20, opening the third eye and learning about all of that, that is something that after learning how to do that, it became my, I've worked out my third eye more than anything else at all in my body, right? I mean, to the point where when I got into this, I used to have to get a train to work each day. So I used to do these third eye practices on the train and all the rest of it. And now it's a light switch to me, you know, it's on, off, on, off, on, off, update, download, you know, push energy, receive every energy, whatever. Why? I mean, it's so interesting. Why did I get that inclination to do that? Because it really had no impact on my life till now. That's not true. And it didn't really have any impact on my life until the moment in the woods, if that makes sense. Because I always believed, right? And I always had a sense of something. But up until that moment in the woods, man, things were vanilla. And then things just different. Now, somebody said something about some kind of dreaming. Okay. So, Ron, do you astral travel? The astral realm is my favorite. Right. So, astral, off world, all of that. that isn't very much something where you can shove your fingers into the earth and be at one with it. So astral traveling, off-world stuff, I am the biggest newborn, like the newborn puppy of the group when it comes to all that. So lucid dreaming is how I defeated the man in the hat, and the shadow people and all that kind of stuff. And astral travel is something I would love to learn how to do. And I tell you something else. This is going to really annoy so many people. Where I'm at now, I've got to, with no effort and no trying at all, no sitting down and going, I'm really going to try at this. Okay. Nothing. None. Other than the meditating when I was 20. Nothing. And now I'm going to really try. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, let's see what happens when you really center yourself and go into a state beyond what we think is capable. Because you're talking to a guy who flicks through a book and has pre-made sigils that he's empowered, puts his hand over them, and we're good. You know? But what if we actually try? And I think astral travel is one that I think I would really like to try. Because if I can astral travel, right, and I can get, see, this is another thing, ladies and gentlemen, belief in your intent and your will is more important than anything. Before you even begin a journey into magic, you have to believe in yourself fully. And I mean, most people are the iceberg where they display 10% of, you know, who they are, and they say they love themselves and all this, and it's 90% self-doubt under the surface. There is none of that. The way that my self-doubt and my down days and my balance to the love I have for myself is all-encompassing doubt. Okay? It's not, it'll be like a 48-hour period of me in the fetal position going, oh, no, 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 no. And then bam, we're back for another 30 days of my will. I can shape my will, metaphorically speaking and literally speaking. Now, can you just sort of hit me with the sales pitch, metaphorically speaking? Oh, I tell you something else. I'm going to get a metaphorically speaking swear box. Give me the sales pitch so that I know exactly what you're talking about. Because again, Ron has made up so many words for things that have already got words because he's taught himself so much stupid stuff. It's not stupid stuff. It's awesome. But I'm really interested to see what happens if I try. But then we have to look at things that I want to learn to try at and then assign somebody who's going to be a guide or a teacher. Now, when it comes to some things, there's a couple of people that I would trust with stuff like that. But I think in the grand scheme of things, could we all collectively learn astral travel? Sky Spirit, is that something that we could all learn on a stream and encourage each other as a community? Is that like a safe thing? Like, can you end up teleporting? I don't want to end up half in a wall and half out a wall. Okay. I have an actual nightmare fear of that. Like, I'm like, the first time the teleporting and that comes out, like, do you remember all the bugs that were in a freaking PS5 and you want me to teleport? Sound, mate. Nah, I'll wait for the teleport pod version 16. Work out the bugs. You know what I'm saying? So hang on a second. Right. So Spirit Sky. Yes, I can show you. That is something that people can learn. Okay. I'm okay. Very safe. The only thing to fear is fear. So kind of like psychedelics. I'm with you. So does your inner vibration shape the journey? When you say the only thing to fear is fear, or do you mean the in an astral realm, is it an interdimensional things where you have to worry about fear feeders, as I call them, things latching on that are attracted to the fear? Oh yeah, I have no fear. Listen, Does everybody here, has everybody seen the clip of me doing the ghost hunt, right? Where the spirit box comes on in my pocket and the first thing it says is his soul is protected. Ever since that day, my ego has been off the chart with spiritual stuff. Like, come at me, brah. Come at me. Bailey, mad. Proper mad, mate. Okay, so put a 1 in the side chat if you've seen that. Put a 2 if you haven't seen that clip. Because Ron loved playing this. Ron just can't stop playing this clip. Yes, to attach. Okay, so fear. Yeah, I'm not worried about that. So that's good. So I guess I'm almost like, see, when it comes to the fear feeding stuff, I'm definitely a spiritual narcissist compared to a lot of people. Like, I think the spiritual realm and fighting evil is the best place to be a narcissist, if I'm being honest. All right, wait till you see this. All right. Okay. Okay. Yeah, that's not
You've probably heard that as you get older, your body.
No.
Check out our new chat feature for live streams. Support creators with chat bombs.
Okay, sweet.
Try now.
Nah. All right. So this is me at Greyfriars Kirk, right? And this is my first ever investigation. And I'm going to show you the two things that are crazy. First of all, I'm standing in an archway that used to be the entrance to Edinburgh's city. So a lot of mad stuff went on here. And this is at Greyfriars Kirk.
So I just want to say I'm about 8 to 9 feet away.
I'll let Ron from the panel.
I'll show you in a minute, but the meter is just going insane. We're on an archway, an old archway. I'll show you where we're at.
So you see here, I kind of show. Now, up here, you can see the old... What the frick is that? I mean, it's obviously the Leafs, right? Whoa. That is a face right there. Can you see that? I mean, it's obviously the Leafs, right? But that's wild. Okay, so what you're looking at here is the old steel hinge that the old gate would sit in, right? And inside there, I have put an EMF, electric magnetic frequency reader inside there, and you can see that it's slotted in. But let's continue.
So the meter, which is still going off.
Wait a second. I'm sorry, everybody.
The meter is just going insane. Which I'll show you where we're at.
Oh, I don't like that.
So the meter, which is still going off, is at the other side of this archway. I'm standing right here. And it's just constantly going nuts.
I really don't like it. So that is the spirit.
Oh my God, the spirit box just went on in my pocket. What the Right, okay. And it stopped. Oh, no, it's starting again. Hang on a second.
So it
Watch
goes on
your ears.
And you get some.
You want to talk to us? Can you light that box all the way up to red right now?
Oh, you
all the way to red.
You see nothing yet.
Thank you. Do you want to use this box here to try and talk to me?
Just watch people.
I'm going to move this meter.
Watch
Did you just say run?
Watch. Watch.
Did you just tell me to run?
Here we go.
Oh, Aiden, thank you. Thank you so much.
You're about to see the most unexplainable thing you'll ever see.
Did you just tell me to run? Is there something you want to tell me? Is that you lighting up the meter for a start? To answer me, is that you lighting up this meter? All right, I'm going to move this meter, guys. Whoa! Holy, to move this meter, guys. Whoa! To move this meter, guys.
So,
whoa!
I don't know if you know how gravity works, but the meter comes down and then is thrown to the side. Watch it here. It comes down and then picks up speed and is thrown to the side. That is not how gravity works, okay?
Yeah, did you see that? I want to show you something. Do you see this hole? Right? Do you see where the meter is?
Yes, I go on a bit about the meter.
I want to show you something.
Oh, look.
The meter is slotted in.
So yeah, basically, I'm making the point that it can't fall out, right? So none of that bothers me, right? Like I'm there to investigate this. I'm not there to run away, and I get really angry. You're here.
Yeah, I bet you won't do it again. I'm not going to run away. Do you want me to turn the lights off? Run. Did you just tell me to run again? Listen. Oh, I'm going to turn these lights out.
Yeah. So
I want you to tell me once again. Was that you that just knocked my meter off of the wall?
So yeah, I mean, it says Ron. Yeah, it could say Ron, right? But what's interesting is I'm in a Scottish graveyard, and so many Scottish voices came through. That was the main thing for me. Was like, wow, eat your face. Do you know what I mean? All these things. But crazy, right? Crazy, and you know, I don't like ghost hunting with people. Like, do you know the scariest thing in the world is jump scares for me, right? Like I'm one of these people where my ADHD has road mapped every movie he's ever seen and knows that if this is a jump scare movie or a game and there's not been one for 15 minutes, there's one coming, right? Sophia, interesting you say that. Interesting you say that because right after this, when I did this investigation, there was a homeless man sat outside the graveyard with an eye patch, like an eye wound, right? A one-eyed man, okay? And he asked for a cigarette, and I gave him everything I had. My tobacco, my money, everything. Everything. Signs are everywhere, man. But Ron's not maybe as brave as you think, because you've got to remember, Greyfriars Kirk looks scary and it looks old, but you're surrounded by flats and about 50 meters away from the busiest drinking, nightclubbing part of Edinburgh. That's how surreal Edinburgh is. Okay. So, and again, my biggest fear is like a homeless guy on 5 blues and a can of Stella, right? That's my biggest fear. So yeah, I used to do wild camping and did all that by myself. You know, I feel like investigating with people's okay, depending on the people that you're with or the kind of investigation you're doing. If you see what I mean. But at no point am I going to tolerate something throwing my stuff around, touching me, and thinking that I'm going to feed its fearsome desires. I say no. Plus, I think if I'd been there with someone, the fact that they screamed and ran off, like, I'm not coming with you. All right. So if you ran off into the darkness, oh, well, you know what I'm saying? And I'll tell you something else. Would I have acted the same way as if I wasn't live streaming it in front of people? Probably not. Okay. I tell you what, you grow a set of balls when you've got 500 or 600 live witnesses. You know, for sure. Now, if you're on my beautiful private Discord, you will see a room called General VC. Anyone who would like to be part of any of the live readings tonight, if you'd like to join that room, and I'll slowly start pulling you in for some chit chats and all the rest. Beverly will be joining us as well. And next week we're going to be breaking the show up into about 2.5 to 3 hours with a focus on a guest for the first. Oh my God, we've booked Greg. We have booked. Actually, hang on a second. Hang on. 1 second. We've booked Greg. Greg is coming on. Greg. Freaking Greg, baby. Freaking Greg. Oh, man. Greg, you heard me right. Sky, the Discord is currently closed. Greg is basically Yoda, right? Ron didn't say a word for 20 minutes. While Greg's video played. It was crazy. But I tell you what, I might just do some shuffling here. Whilst we're Greg does make ace pasties. Sadly, none of them for Ron. Ron's on a healthy lifestyle, eating. He's not really. He just put all of his details into a BMI calculator, and the BMI calculator was really rude, right? So now I'm just calorie deficiting until the bright red color in the BMI changes to green. So, yeah. Set boundaries, spiritual ones, and let them know if you say no. Yeah, so boundaries and spiritual boundaries. So I 100% agree. I'm going to be honest. I feel like in the spiritual realm, when I walk into somewhere like that graveyard, it's like, do you remember the scene from Reservoir Dogs where they're all walking down the street and it's like, boom, 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 and it's like all the guys are just in sequence. That's what I imagine all the badassness that's got my back on that realm is like with me. You've no idea how much of a movie in my head all of this looks, right? But it doesn't, because magic's not like that. But in my head, telling you, it looks pretty cool. Because there's a bunch of stuff out there that I wouldn't even have to give any spiritual boundaries to, because it absolutely craps its pants. Craps its pants. Like, craps its pants. And again, I know all of you light people are crapping yourself. There's a bunch of you typing paragraphs right now. No, Ron, listen, Ron. I get it. But Ron doesn't, that Ron's in the gray, okay? And Ron's got very powerful friends on both sides of the camp and in the middle of the camp. Very exciting. It's very exciting. It's really exciting, man. Ron's currently doing a card sesh situation right now for somebody. But I'm not telling you who. I just need to double check a name here. Oh yeah, that's exactly what I thought. Just bear with me. So Erica, why do you seem to have a massive problem with allowing yourself to be the person you want to be? What is it that has forced your inner self, your true self, to be ellipsed? But a lot of people interpret this as shy, quiet people. It's not always shy, quiet people. But your main problem seems to be you're denying your true self. Erica, why are you doing that? Why are you doing that? Could be a lot of things. Could be a lot of things. Always gives me the it's a very when I get that card, it's got such a scope of what it can mean. And really only Erica will know what it means. If Erica's even still here. Okay. All right. Yeah, Erica asked earlier. Very interesting. If she's still here, let us know. Ron's pulling like a lot of cards tonight. He's just I'm going to set the other camera up and I'm going to show you all what I'm doing. I was just getting a bit antsy on this, but I don't think Erica's here with us anymore, which is a bit disappointing. The lady on the screen here. No, don't worry, everyone. We'll get a chance. Don't worry. I don't think Erica's still here. It's all right. She can watch this back. So hiding the true self and an absolute definitive calling for you to end the cycle. Until you end the cycle and ascend and transform, you will be stuck denying your true self. And I think that's all I need to go. And that's based off of the first card here. Hiding your true self. And how you can escape your trouble. Transformation, end the cycle, new beginnings, which was ascension. Yeah. All right. So yeah, we will. Don't worry. Ron likes to get this. Do you know what this is? This is like stretching, is what this is. Thank you. Thank you. Just as I'm talking about what this is to me, how this is like a warm-up for it all, the card that comes out that says self-assurance pops out, and that's exactly what that is to me. It's building up that little bit, it's just stretching, a little bit of confidence, getting in the zone. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. Miss Beverli Rhodes. Oh, no. Miss Beverli Rhodes. How are you?
She doesn't. I'm fine. How are you?
Oh, I'm good, man. I'm feeling it's one of those nights where I feel like once I learn how to shoot fireballs out my hand, this is the level of energy I'll need to do it. Do you know what I'm saying? Like I feel like
Well, it looks like you've been doing absolutely great.
Like if you and I were in a car, right, in a tunnel, Bev, right,
yeah.
and both ends of the tunnel collapsed, I'm pretty sure I could punch us out. That's how I feel. All right. I'm pretty sure I can.
Hello to everybody in the chat as well. Hello, everyone in the chat. I can see all the lovely messages here on the side. Thank you so much. That's great. We've got Tractor in as well. That it just makes me laugh every time I see that name. It's too funny for words.
Yeah. So I've just been like a true narcissist, just talking about myself, Bev, as I always do. It's my favorite thing. I could listen to me talking about me all freaking day, right?
Well, it's
but look,
good. We've got
tell
some great ones. Sky Spirits asking you, Ron, do you astral travel? The astral realm is my favorite place
yeah?
to be.
Yeah, that's brand new information. So, Bev, can you talk to me about astral travel? Do you know about a bit about astral traveling, like the concept of it and all that kind of stuff? Right? Was that a really stupid question? Was that one of those, was that like asking the postman if he delivers the post? Was that one of those? It was. Oh God. It's so funny because you do this micro reaction where it's the equivalent of someone pointing at me and going, "You're a dumbass," but it's this micro. You have this micro reaction in your face every time, and I'm like, "Oh no, oh no."
Yeah, he's done it again. He's done it again.
So just who was it? It was Sky Spirit. She talked about astral spirits, and then I'd ask everybody if that would be a fun thing we could learn together. They talked about how fear is something you don't want to have in you when you do these things. Can you just imagine you're talking to an 8-year-old? Remember, okay? Just kind of explain it to me. Give me the sales pitch. Not even
the sales pitch.
The sales pitch.
Okay, the sales pitch. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, first thing to do with the sales pitch is say make sure that you protect yourself firstly, and don't go doing any astral travel or going out of your body if you've been using substances or if you have been drinking a lot of alcohol.
You're always on some form of substance.
It depends what the substance is. If it's tablets for a particular condition, that won't interfere with it.
No. Like none of the prescription stuff. Do you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
But
so
the
green weeds of the garden. Is that what you're talking about?
I wouldn't know. I've never even had a cigarette before, Beverly. Okay.
Oh, okay. Well, I've never had a cigarette either. I've never had.
I've never been outside. So
out. You mean out here? Out through your head?
No, I'm way too wound up for the level of like comedy that I'm trying to produce here, right? You just come from a client, from a serious work environment into train wreck of Ron's pop energy. So congratulations. This is what happens when you're late. You've got this version of me.
The train wreck was far worse, trust me.
Oh, listen. Well, okay, listen.
No, it was a bad one. It was a bad one. It was a very, very, very bad one.
I mean, I'm not being funny. You got blown up in a train. It could have been real worse, Bev. I'm not being funny. You look pretty good for, lady who blew up in train. Right?
Yeah, but you know what? They put me back together quite nicely when I went to Thailand for the surgery. So it didn't get done in this country. It was done. The Thailand government agreed to take all of the 750 7/7 London bombing survivors in and give us everything at cost price, whatever needed to be fixed.
Wait. I'm sorry. The people who survived the bomb explosion had to go to Thailand. Why? Where was the NHS? Was the NHS as busy?
Well, think about how many people there were. There were about 700 or so that needed immediate care. My waiting time would have been over a year and a half for essential surgery. I had the first surgeries on my daughter's birthday on the 17th of August. Was the first surgeries that they did in order to clear all the infections and get everything out. Yeah. But then after that, the rest of the surgeries would have been one a year for a couple of years. So from that point of view, if you think about it, I was just one of the survivors. There were loads of survivors, and there was about 1,000. It's too much.
It makes sense. Like if you've suddenly someone comes into a restaurant and orders 700 or something, and you're under, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So yeah, it makes sense there. It does make sense. So
yeah. Plus, we were promised by John Reeves at the time, and I've got the receipts to prove this. We were promised by Tessa.
I believe you, mate. I believe you. Okay.
We were told that we were meant to be treated as veterans, people that returned from, being in the army or whatever, Navy.
Yeah.
And we were meant to be treated the same as a veteran and given the same medical.
That's exactly why none of you were given any treatment. That's exactly why none of you were given any treatment. You were probably all given a free, piss-soaked mattress and told, "Hey, thanks for your service, but go sleep under a bridge. We're really sorry, but no help for you." So that'll be why, Bev. No underlying. no underlying
I did,
tones of facetiousness
no,
there for me at all.
but what I did is I actually then went to a couple of stores and I said, you know, we've got survivors that are living below the breadline that are washing their clothes and are washing their children and doing everything using, you know, a dishwashing liquid for everything, including washing their hair. Could you please provide goodie bags for us at Christmas so we can distribute it to the survivors, which is what we did.
Nice.
So we did a lot of things that a lot of people don't even know about.
Put one in the side chat if you're from the generation that when you were on holiday with your parents and if you ran out of the soap and showering conditioner and shampoo that you brought yourselves, your ma washed you with fairy liquid that she'd brought with her because she had most of that left over. Last day of the holiday, mate, mum's not buying any freaking shower gel. She can't bring it home. Fairy liquid shower.
True.
It happens.
True. And it works fine,
there
actually.
There
works fine.
The lady herself. Okay.
Here's a pink lady.
Herself. How are you doing, Asria? Big shout out to you. Now, Bev, one thing I was talking about was my journey with you, right? Because one thing that's very important for me is people know that I've not come to you and been like, oh, Bev, teach me the ways, right? I've had so many moments that are like a 2-minute conversation with you that have changed everything for me. The one was about intuition and how quick thoughts that are relevant appear and knowing how to focus on them and things like this. And because I don't really talk much about the stuff that I'm really good at, I just talk about the stuff that I'm learning with you. But that one thing applied to things I've been doing for 2.5 decades, you know, and it's almost like you've dialed me in like a sniper scope on some things, right? And it's interesting because I think a lot of people, they see somebody like you as a teacher, right? But for me, you're very much the embodiment of a guide, right? But a guide that is so full of the answers. I won't say knowledge, but the answers for some of the questions I don't even know yet, you know? Oh, man, I'm telling you, sometimes I just drift off into thought and I'm like, do you know what you're talking about? Yes, I do. And it's been profound. It's the same with Asria. Asria kind of messed me up for a while. I'm not going to lie.
Oh, with the DNA, yes. And we're going to be getting, have you told everybody that Asria is going to come and join us and do 2 celebrity DNAs, alien DNAs on this show with us? It's going to be
Asria's part
awesome.
of the new show format, just so you know. So Asria is going to have her section. We're all going to have we're all bringing the things to the table that you guys kind of know us for. But Bev, right? I'm really excited to see what this year brings. And what's exciting is when I was talking about the teacher, right? For me, for example, I could quite easily say, oh yeah, I'll jump into the remote viewing. And then 100% we are in a teaching scenario, right? But you and me have been very much like good buddies, right? And it's like, if you said to me, oh, I want to learn bushcraft and survival camping.
What makes you think I don't know bushcraft and survival?
I'm using an example of something I'm good at, right? So we could go out there and I could just let you crack on and make sure you don't die from a distance, which is which is where we are. You're very much, and it's awesome. And I just want to thank you, because the areas in which you're helping me improve are incredible. And like I say, Ron doesn't really talk too much about what he's good at because it's not relevant to the shows or anything like this. But the things that Ron is learning is so exciting. The cards, Bev, man, like these cards, like they're so taking the mickey with what is it called? A popper, when one just jumps out when you're shuffling, right? I don't even like, what is the point in drawing cards, right? Just the poppers are taking the mickey with me today.
But they do. The energy is going to do that with the popper because a popper has a particular answer to a particular question that the person you're doing the read for needs to know. That's why a popper is there, because that popper tells them the answer to the question.
Well, that's exactly it. But I'm doing it because I like shuffling the deck as a fidget toy now. So all day today, things were popping out that were just relevant to me or things I was thinking about. That's how much they're taking the mickey, and it's exciting because we know
I
what.
hope you're taking notice of what it is that they're telling you.
Obviously, Bev. Like, I've got ADHD. I don't miss anything, right? But it's frustrating because I either notice everything that everyone else misses, or I don't see the gnome. It's either right there, everyone else sees it, and I can't.
There's the gnome again.
But the subtleties are what I'm tuned into. Now, before Ron just goes full narcissist and starts talking about himself again, we had a couple of really interesting ideas, me and Bev, today. And one of them, obviously, is expanding this show. But another one was looking at cold cases from throughout history, maybe Egypt, Rome, all of these places where basically everyone is well and truly no longer with us, okay? And it's not like some case from the 60s or 70s. And we do the whole school of Beverli skill sets, remote viewing, all of these things to look into the cold cases from throughout history, right? I thought that could be really fun, right? Because let me know what you guys think. If you'd like to do like a historical cold case, psychic, true crimey thing, let me know. Is it a series? Is it more of like a monthly thing? Let us know what you think. But going back to me asking you a question, then cutting you off and changing the subject. Astral projection, Beverli. Take us a little bit through what the flip that is. Now, listen, guard yourself, yourself protected. That's where you got to.
Okay, well, we got to the protection. So ideally, sometimes before you make sure that you're not, doing any naughty substances and things, because that's really not going to be helpful. And then you're going to find that you'll probably come back with something attached to you, which you don't want. But lie in a very comfortable position. I prefer to lie flat on my back and with a pillow underneath the knees, so there's nothing that's causing your back to pull upwards. And then with your palms facing upwards, so that these palms have got that energy that can help you to rise. What I do, and everybody has a different way of doing it, and there are others out there that provide astral traveling in a different way. But what I've always done for years is I then very calmly in my mind, I ask for my feet to rest and become heavy, and my knees to become heavy. And I gradually work all the way up my body until I get to the top. And then I become very heavy and allow myself to start moving. I take all this energy, I'm taking my energy, moving up, and I either go out of my head on the top, or if I feel so inclined, if it's easier for me and I find my legs are very, very heavy, I then push the energy down and I go out of my legs and out of my feet. So sometimes the people that I've had in my various classes when I've been teaching, some people go out of their head and other people go out of their feet. Either way, it's the same.
Can I ask some questions? Because I think I know exactly what you're talking about. So for me, I used to do a thing, right, where I'd be sat at my desk and it would be a combination of candle gazing with your eyes closed, fixating on something in your mind, right? With your my hearing was completely gone. I had headphones on and I would listen to certain types of music with my eyes closed, concentrating on this candle. And I would feel this incredible warmth, right? But the warmth that came with me almost came with a paralyzing whisper, right? It was almost like REM sleep whilst I'm sat up at my desk, okay? And then I get to this point where I feel like there's something more to this. And then I usually then just sort of do a bit, sort of goes on for a bit of a lucid dream. And then something will happen in my surroundings that will snap me out of it. Is that sort of comparison to a REM sleep feeling? The build up.
It seems to be. It seems to be. Yes, it is very similar to what you would have, but ideally, because you want to go out, you want to go out
Yeah,
of your body, you would then, it's usually better not to be, sitting in a chair, unless you only want to do it for a very short period of time, and then you want to continue sort of life as usual, then you could do that quite easily. But generally, I find that if I've decided that I want to go out, I will then lie on the bed, and I will then say, right, this is the amount of time that I want to be out, or I want to be out all night and return back just before the sun comes up.
That's
so
interesting.
it's two different types. If you're wanting to do something really short because you want to look at something, or you need to be located somewhere to look at a particular item, or you just want to be able to become more aware of your chakras and your energies and the toroidal field, then you can sit in a chair and do it that way.
Okay, so weirdly enough, I have been doing that for decades, right? And it's one of the most relaxing things I'll ever do. And I only ever do it, I've only ever done it in places where I'm completely alone. So if I'm alone in the house or whatever, and it's usually at the end of a day. And you know what, Bev? If I'm not in a very specific position, it will not happen, right? And my hands have to be in a specific way, and I have to take a breath and put my head in a specific way. And it's almost like a set of keys. Okay, so head in a position, body, breath, hands activated, and it starts happening. And when you say, you like to be comfy, I think I've subconsciously spent a lot of time not wanting comforts, because for me, it's better to be able to do these things in the worst of conditions. And then you can do them in the most relaxing, if that makes sense. So this is really interesting. So at that stage where I feel like, okay, well, what now? Because that's what it always feels like. It's about pushing out the body. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah,
and when
you always push out the body. Yes, you do. And you can cultivate that. You can decide, well, this time or 3 days a week, I'm going to work on this, or a particular few nights, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or whatever. I'm going to influence my organic body, and I'm going to push myself out. For those that are just starting these explorations into spirituality in different realms, it's something that you can make a start with. It doesn't happen straight away.
Here's an interesting
right
one.
away.
Sue, let's for a second think about that. Because I think the word hypnosis and what we know as hypnosis has been so clowned on, so that we instantly go, oh, well, if it's hypnosis, it's a sideshow. It's the guy eating an apple and tasting an onion. I absolutely, definitely think it could be self-hypnosis, right? But what about, instead of the word hypnosis, what if it's a self-incantation? What if it's a self-awakening in the mind? Because when we look at hypnosis, there's some people that are very subjected to it. The people who, are very susceptible to subliminal advertising and all this kind of stuff. And some people who aren't. But the concept of being able to put ourselves into a state where we can affect our own mind in the same way as a hypnosis act could do is absolutely fascinating to me, Sue. So very possibly. Very possible.
Different people, think of different things. There are individuals that think of, water passing through you. There are those that think of, allowing their whole body to go to sleep and feel heavy. There are many different ways to achieve astral projection and going out of your body. But I think the two biggest aspects is to make sure that you utilize whichever faiths you believe in, or if you don't believe in a particular faith, ask for source for the protection, ask for angelic realms, your guides, whatever is around you, to make sure that you're protected during that time. The one thing you will definitely see always is you will see two strands. You will see a strand that is attached to your third eye.
Yep.
And you will see another strand that is attached to just near where your belly button is. And when you see them, they look a bit like a a very long telephone cord or a very long cord, and they're quite bouncy and they move backwards and forwards.
See, I
And
have a
these are the two cords that are attached to you as you're going out.
See, I have a problem when I'm in that any state like that, when I try and pay attention to third eyes or chakra points. It's blinding, right? It is blinding. It is like when you stare into, it is like, what am I looking? What? No, focus on what's there. Now, let me ask you dumb wrong question. So we're there. I've reached that stage of, okay, there must be more to this. What's next? You know, when I say to you, when you're forward projecting energy and you try and push your energy out of yourself, and that feeling of, I can only describe it as if you were covered in water and you suddenly stopped and the water pushed off you and you had that moment of like, right? Is that what you're trying to do to push yourself out of yourself at that state? Or is it something different?
You can use the water, you can use Reiki, you can use pretty much anything, whatever works for you. Everybody's energy core will vibrate differently, and everybody will have a different connection when you wish to move out of your body. There are many different types of methods that you can use to do astral projection or out of body experience. Are pretty much the same thing, and you just need to embrace what works for you as a person, as the energy being of light that you are. Everybody has a different toroidal field, which is your energy body, and you will utilize it and manipulate that energy differently. And as I was saying earlier about the telephone cord, it's also called the silver cord. Thank you, Tashel. It's been mentioned. And yes, there will be those cords. So I just wanted to make sure that if anyone saw them, that you don't get a fright. Because I remember the first time I saw them, which was like in the 70s, when we still had those awful telephones with those wiggly ones. And I thought, what on earth am I doing dragging a telephone cord with me? And that's what I honestly thought that I was
from the
seeing.
pigeons. It's busting your chops again. But here's the thing, right? Like, basically that whole answer that you gave there was great, but basically what you were saying there was, Ron, you already know the answer to this. It's a personal journey, right? And I get that, right? So if I was to try and astral project to you, Bev, right, would you know about it?
Yes, I would.
So maybe I'll try and do that. Yeah, maybe I'll try and do that at an appropriate time of day and evening. I think that would be quite a good one. And I tell you something, if you can see me, I am going to jump out and scare you if I get good at this. My whole thing will be astral projecting and jump scaring Bev. That'll be my life, just so you know. That'll be, and I'll even tell your missus to get the camera ready because I'm about to astral project jump scare Bev.
Highly unlikely.
Film it.
Highly unlikely. Very funny.
And you know what? I'll know I've graduated when I can ninja. You know what? You know what it is, Bev, right? You know, we've just realized what the final test is, right? Have you ever seen a ninja movie? You ever seen a ninja movie where the final test is
I think I saw one once, yes.
The final test is always you have to sneak up on your master, right? You have to sneak up on your master and sort of get the jump on them, if you will, without them seeing it. That's the goal, Bev. 2025. Sneak up on Beverli Rhodes. And I tell you something right now. As soon as that happens, my website will be www.icansneakupOnBeverlyRhodes.com. Right? Banging. Banging.
What are you like? What are you like?
I'm just
Oh
excited. I'm
my
excited
agony
that you're
aunt,
here,
that
man.
is too funny.
I'm just
so
excited.
Funny. That is really funny.
That's
oh
how much
my
you
goodness.
believe in this
Sound
stuff.
bath. Yes, Lorraine. Sound
What's a
bath.
sound bath?
I like it. Yes. Sound bath is great. I've got these lovely singing bowls, big brass ones and crystal ones and others, and we do that as well. And we've even got, this is not a sound bath, but we've also got the 513. Here we go.
Oh, wow.
Lovely. So, and that
Anyone else
really resonates. So yes, sound baths, lovely. You know what else is also nice is a drumming bath, where you go for the drums and the sound bath and everything, where they do everything all at once in like in a flat area. they have like a school hall, and they're in the middle of the school hall, and everybody lies around the edges. Oh, so nice, so nice.
See,
Really,
I'm
really
weird
lovely.
with drums. I'm weird with drums, right? You see, when Asria was like the drum circle, right? And Asria is as far from anyone that I would profile as. I mean, she obviously can be a badass to the spirits and stuff, right? Obviously, she's a badass, right? But I wouldn't be like, Asria is a dangerous looking person, right? Do you know what I mean? She's a very nice lady, right? So drums for me, I don't know where it comes from because there's no reason for it. But drums to me are like a ceremonial thing before Sutton, right? And it's never a good Sutton, right? It could be funeral, it could be a battle, it could be, why though? How many battles have I been in? None. So for me, it's weird, right? Even the Celtic, the really, there's a lot of really cool drums, but do you know when it totally changes? Have you, not the steel drums, but have you seen these weird dome-like metal drums that have these shoehorn cuts in them, and you tap them and it's like bong bong bing bong? Wow.
Yeah, they're
Okay.
very nice.
If that's what a
Absolutely
sound bath is,
lovely.
I found my
Lovely.
shower gel. Okay, I have found my shower gel when it, because that bing bong bong bing bong bong. Well, see, Asria, I would love to come on your drum ceremonies, but for the whole event, I would be like feeling like a bouncer or a security guard. I'd be
Well,
like, I
get
don't know
on the train. Get on the train. She's only 39 minutes away from you, and they've got drum ceremonies happening. And you never know, you might be able to borrow a drum as well and see what the voice of the drum is. She's only 39 minutes away from you.
39 minutes? Nah, that can't be true.
Yeah, but she's down in Kent. So if you're in London, from London to Kent,
I'm not in London. Why do you think I'm in London? Do I look like somebody that could handle London? Do I look like somebody who could go?
You couldn't handle London. But
No,
but when you come down to London, when you come to the G6, maybe ask Asria if there's a drum ceremony going to be happening. Why not? Go and enjoy yourself.
Oh, yeah. Well, here's the thing. I would enjoy myself, but the whole time I'd be on edge waiting for the apocalypse. That's how I would feel. I'd be like, okay.
That's past life. That's past life. That's just the past life. We just need to clear that nonsense, and then you'll be fine.
Yeah, I know, but again, no. Also, as well, I'm a leather worker and could definitely make you a drum. I just want to say, like, they're not.
Generally, you don't make a drum; you birth a drum. By the way.
All right, I'll birth you a drum, mate. Doesn't sound weird at all. Just go to nip down to see Asria and birth a drum for her.
Well, Asria birthed her own drum. Maybe when we get her on the show next week, we can ask her how she birthed her drum, because it took her
live. I'm not about to say live birthing on the Sean Atwood channel. Stay tuned.
No, you're not allowed to say that. Be good.
So, babe, tonight I'm gonna delve into the readings as I do them, right? And you often see. I think there's a couple of types of people out there, right? There's people who really want to know these things and learn them, and that kind of starts defining who they are. They become very much in the white, and there's nothing wrong with this. This isn't a criticism, just so you know. But for me, I found a lot of frustration in the common path with these cards, and I spoke to you about it. I was like, babe, I don't understand how you can pull one card. Asria is really, really good at it, right? Because she's been doing the cards a lot longer than me, right? Asria can pull one card and freaking interpret things that I'm like, how though? How though? And she's like, see that crease in the card? That gave me the inclination of something. I'm like, okay, right? And watching Asria get so much information from something where I'm looking at it like, duh, was massive as well for me, because now I ignore everything that should be done with these cards, and I've followed this path that has worked for me. Well, actually, that's a lie. It's not worked for me. It worked a lot for the people who have asked for readings, which really
maybe part of that is not just the cards. I do think, and from what I see with your energies, that a lot of that information is being drawn down and being drawn across and through and back up again. and then it's coming out of your vocals here with your the chakra around your throat, and you're saying what's coming. So it is part of a download. It's not actually just reading a card, what's written on a card. It's a download that's coming for each of the individuals.
Do you know what? I know exactly how I can test what you've said. I don't mean to prove you right or wrong, but in my head, I'm like, so now before I draw a card every time, I'm going to do in my head, say the intuition that I think that card's going to be representing. And we'll see how long it takes for me to fizzle out the cards completely. That's exciting, Bev. That's an algorithm that my brain can get data points from. You know, how many times
it'll happen. Transformation happens in an instant. It really does. In a flicker of a light, that's how it happens. And what we do is when we do the trainings, I say, imagine the back of your head as a post box. And this is the post box will give you words, and just blindly trust whatever's popping into the back of your mind, because that's a download. Bring that energy through, take that energy through, and allow it to come out of your mouth.
It'll happen one night. Someone will be getting a reading, and the cards will be cards will be off screen, and then I'll be like, there was no cards involved in that, and then we'll start progressing, and you'll see it happening, because things like that, Bev, where I can keep track of my own data is so important. And again, how much do we talk about belief at the core of this? If you go into anything with no belief in what you're doing, but if you already go into it with steady belief, and then you start becoming confident and you build on that, it's like an athlete getting better at their sport, effectively, right? Also, put a 1 in the side chat if you like these live streams where Bev and I basically chat like we're in a living room, and I'm just asking, we're all asking questions, because I love this. Like, I absolutely love the nights where you and I get to really chat stuff, man.
Well, we've asked, Larks has asked QQ, does Bev know anything about the gateway tapes? Yes, Bev does know about the gateway tapes. So hemi-syncing, they do work over 8 weeks. Now, I must let you know that the individual organization that was the brain power, if you like, behind the gateway tapes.
What are they?
Is the Monroe Institute. What else does the Monroe Institute do internationally?
Don't know.
They're one of the top remote viewing organizations in the world, and they train RVers. So no surprise then that the gateway tapes were developed by the Monroe Institute. Also, you can do it over 8 weeks, but it teaches you how to get the best out of your energies, how to get yourself synced up. And honestly, you know, it just works. It's very exciting, and it allows you to, it really does take that toroidal field that's around you, and it amplifies all those frequencies that are moving around you really, really fast. And those waves, part of that hemisync, where the hemispheres of the brain are being synced together, it does give you an extra push of your brain waves. So I mean, if you would like to do that, absolutely go ahead and do it, because it is an amazing experience. I hope that answered your question.
I've got a follow-up question. What is a gateway tape?
The gateways were developed by Monroe Institute to make a start at changing the way that you, and that the gateways was actually the original, what we call the original soldiers, and all of us that worked for, you know, various organizations and agencies.
Was this what you would have learned it from before the internet years ago, sort of thing? Yeah,
it's like psychic soldiers, psychic warfare, those sort of things. That was the Gateway Project.
Sweet. I see. This is, again, I just want to apologize now to all of Bev's really professional psychic friends who are going to ask me stuff, and I'm going to sound like a moron. Listen, I'm special. Okay, this is why me and Bev have got a great relationship. I'm special. All right. So I know I'm a bit all over the place, and my magical name's Little Yum Yum. Deal with it. Okay. because I'm special, because I feel like such an out of place moron sometimes, Bev, around
No,
you.
I'm not allowing you to say moron twice. Take it back.
Listen, I've got to humanize myself some way, right? I've got to have a bit of fun with it, right? But it's interesting because there's so much that I should know, but I have no
Why
clue.
Why are you making yourself
Well,
wrong?
No,
You
I'm not
can't
making
be,
myself
you're
wrong.
not
It's
wrong.
just-
You
it's
could
just
know.
interesting.
No. I'm not letting you get away
Right,
with
I
it.
take it back. I
Bad
take it
boy.
back.
In
I
your,
take it
in
back.
your box. In your box.
It just
You say
fascinates me.
could, not should. Change the words. Could.
Yeah.
Should
Yeah.
makes
No,
you
I'm
wrong.
with you.
You don't use the word should.
Fascinates me. It just fascinates me. So, like I'm
So
basically
you
that.
could do it. You could be doing it. Not that you have. You could know a lot more by now, but you have chosen a different path. And now you're deciding to embrace and
Why?
increase their
Why
energy.
do people keep telling me I'm choosing a different path? Right? I tell you what. Do you know what path I'm on? The path of the mad popcorn energy. That's what I'm on. Right?
Popcorn
I'm
energy is good. I like
fumbling
popcorn.
down the hill, and I'm okay with it. But yeah, I'll take it all back.
Good.
Now I'm going to set up my second camera, Bev.
So we can watch you doing what you're doing.
Also, we've got Discord set up for the readings of people from the community, and also if you'd like to have a little chitty chat with them, I'll pull people in and they can say hello because we do like that. So yeah, again though, you've got to understand. Remember, people, Ron is in the balance. Okay, for every narcissistic thing Ron says about how awesome he is, he's going to throw in every now and again a 1% of a little bit of busting of his own chops. This one, Bev. This one. Because he's got to. It's got to have the balance. So don't worry. Ron loves himself way too much.
There's no such thing as way too much. You love yourself because you love yourself. There's no such thing as way too much.
That's a good point. That is an interesting one. That I can get behind. What was it I said? I've forgotten already. I love myself almost too much. Yeah, I love myself. That's much better. Yeah, that's much better.
You're comfortable in your skin and you love yourself. Do you know, Ron, how many people cannot actually say, I love myself? Do you know how many people there are? There must be at least 70% of the population of the world that cannot say
70%.
At least.
Oh, but again, I see my own. I don't see myself as perfect either. That's another thing. So, like, I'm on this calorie deficit journey because when I look at myself, I want to look a bit better. But other than that, but I don't not love myself. I still love myself, but I'm allowed to improve things. But yeah, I get what you're saying. That's interesting. See, when you look at the finites of the law of attraction, for example, these little things like that, the contradictions of positive with a negative ending, that's my homework for this week. And I'm going to be like, Bev, I done it 7 times today and I caught myself. Yep, 7 times. You're right. Because that's an interesting one. The intuition thing with the cards, and that's going to be my homework for next week.
I think it's a good one. It's a good one to have. And thank you so much for the lovely messages. So serious poems. I love that. Hey, Bev, that's really lovely. Thank you so much for all the lovely comments. And I would like to hear from everyone. What is it that you would like us to bring on this show that you would like to learn? Because we're going to have a section of the new format of the show where we're going to learn a few things.
Yes.
And if there's something specific that you want to learn, what used to be fun when I used to do this in South Africa, we used to, in the beginning of the show, we used to have a target and a target number. And we used to say, there is something, the energy is around the show now, in the beginning of the show, and see, it's like, for instance, arbitrary. It's a number from 1 to 10.
Okay.
And we would say that's the number. And towards the middle of the show, we would then say, we're going to do a reveal and we'll show you a number on the screen. This is the number that has been an energy that's been permeating. And then all those that got the number right, number 1, and all those that didn't get it, number 2. And this way, then we start utilizing your own psychic ability, your extrasensory perception, and we just have a lot of fun in helping individuals awaken. Because I guarantee you, the first number you think of, you're going to think you're wrong, and then you're going to change your mind, and then you're going to choose something else, and that'll be the wrong one because the first one you got was going to be right. So remember that for next time. Where have you disappeared to, Ron?
Ron is setting up
The
card.
camera.
Yeah, and the
Mhm.
cards camera.
Okay. Astral projection. Oh, I like this. Astral projection is awesome because you can fly. Yes. My favorite thing to do is chase the sheep or chase the animals because they can see you coming down and dive bombing and then they run, which is just very cute. Don't hurt them.
What about
Just
mermaids? What about mermaids?
mermaids.
Yeah, mermaids.
We've
and
got
stuff.
Linda Lou
Oh, no,
having a
wait,
good
wait,
laugh
no,
there.
Bev. Right, just between this is just you and me, the boys, right? We're here. This is the boys now, Bev. Right? What was that pleasure planet you told me about? How do I get there? What's that one all about? We'll talk about that later, Bev. That's one for
You
later,
want
Bev.
to- why do you want to go to the pleasure planet?
Science.
Rubbish.
No, it's for science, mate.
Yeah, right.
No,
Yeah.
it's for science. Honestly,
Right.
it is. It's for science. I'm gonna find it. I'm gonna find it. I'm gonna bring you
You
back.
can go if you want to go. You just have to go out of body, but they might catch you.
No,
So
I'm not-
I'll have to
not
just come and
this.
dig you out like I had to do with Big Homie.
Oh yeah, listen. Oh no, you have to come and rescue me from a pleasure planet. Oh no, oh no.
Shame for you. Yes. What is the word that they say? Sorry for you.
No,
Mhm.
surely that has to be in the same realm as like having an affair. Like, surely astral projecting to pleasure planet has got to be up there with like.
I think
spirits.
Danny would have
Spirits.
your guts for garters. I don't even think you should go to Pleasure Planet. I'll explain to you how to get there if you want.
No, don't. I'll get in trouble. Let's not even pretend.
You won't
Let's
get in trouble.
not even-
Here's
let's not
Rocky Mountain Skywalker. Now, this person keeps on coming on, mastering fear and learning to see the true energy of beings. Some are very interesting in appearance. Oh, yes, aren't they just? I've been lately, I might just actually share it with everybody. I've done about 10 different plates of energy fields. One of the ones I did actually was the one for Julia on the day that she was taken to the court. And I might just share that with you to show you what Julia's toroidal field and her energy looked like to me. I might just do that, and I've done a few others as well. I might just share all of those so that everyone can start getting the ideas of what the energy field looks like and how it changes, because it is very, very different. So yes, nice to see you here, Rocky Mountain Skywalker. I like that energy
All right.
picture as well.
So I just want to say there's someone on Discord in general VC who I've picked to be the first person.
What's general VC? What does that mean?
No, don't worry. It's just a room on my private Discord. It's
Oh,
the people.
okay.
So I've already picked someone. So I've already started this first reading, but this is how Ron does stuff. So just Bev, you keep chatting away. Keep us going with some questions and stuff. And then when I pull the person in, we can hear the full reading.
Oh, I see. There's a Body, Mind, and Spirit Festival in London in May. You can learn loads of fascinating things, crystals, meditations, and talks to help you. Yes, Julie, that's true. It is very, very nice. And I must admit, I think I've been 3 or 4 times. Yeah, it's very, very good. And there's lots of unusual things. Hopefully they'll have some speakers, because you can go during the entire event, they have speakers in different areas and you can go and listen to different talks. So yeah, enjoy. We've got a person called Sherry B61. I have lucid dreams. Oh, that's lovely. I know lots of people would love to be able to remember their dreams, which is always lots of fun. And then thank you to all of the mods explaining that TikTok is free, which is great. And then we've got Helena G saying, Bev will pinch you. Yes, Helena, I will pinch. I will definitely pinch. I do that to poor Big Homie, poor chap. I pinch him, which is quite nice. And we've got Hey Girls coming in from Empowered Wendy. That's really lovely. Nice picture, Wendy. So is her channel for free? I don't know who you're talking about. Rocky Mountain Skywalker. There's a whole bunch. Look at this, too funny for words. Lots of funny faces. I like it. Carry on with it. It's great. Samson? Is it Samson? Is this Samson, Ron?
No, different Samson.
Different Samson. I'm just like, Samson's here and he's not working. That's a surprise. Like you would have the capacity to name something that may heal me. That's an interesting comment. I can't find it. And what else have we got here? I don't remember my dreams lately. Well, maybe I've got a few of my clients, what they do is they put a dictaphone next to their bedside, and before they open their eyes, whatever comes into their mind as a memory of the dreams, before the guides help them, and then just click onto the dictaphone and allow and talk into the dictaphone, and that will give you some idea. Hopefully that works for you, Linda Lou. Nice to see you here.
Jesus.
Oh, this is interesting. So Sophia O, one of the mods, said, I tried to astral project to my friend's bedroom to wake her up at 4 a.m., but never managed it. Yeah.
I'm going to make you full screen, and I'm going to go and do this reading not live with this person, and then come back and tell you if I've got it right.
Okay.
All right, I won't be long.
Good luck. Oh, this is too funny. Look at this one. The Ron Jedi Apprentice. Oh, well, yep. That's a good one. He's a Padawan. Very good too. So let's have a look. Juliet's Thoughts. That's a nice name for a channel. It's Juliet's Thoughts. That's really good. Please explain common person. Let's have a look at this one. Can you please ask Beverly if they're going to release the Epstein files, all of them? They will never release all of the files because of who's in the files. They will release some of the files, but not all of them. It would be too dangerous to release all of them. Some of those items will be quite damning. I hope that helps, Maria. So, what else would you like to see? And what would you like to see in the next show? Because we're busy planning the show for next week. So we've got Asria coming on to do alien DNA, which is awesome. Actually, you know what? I've just remembered. There's a show that I started watching yesterday, which is very interesting. It's called Resident Alien. And I can't remember what channel it's on. It's on one of them. And it's a little bit funny, but also it's quite close to the mark in some cases, especially when they show the type of being. And it really does show the types of stereotypes that humans believe there is from off-worlders or other beings. If you get a chance, have a watch. It's about a being that comes in his craft and then gets hit by lightning and ends up crashing, and then he's got to hide himself in a mountain retreat called something pleasant or Mount Patience or something like that. It's too funny. You've got to watch it. It's very, very good. So be careful. What does this one here say? So I think that what we can do is also look at what are the learnings and type of learnings that you would like to see here for next week, so that we know, well, I can bring some of the items that I've prepared and I can then show them on this show. Would you like to see, for instance, what an energy body looks like? What an energy body of somebody that is projecting? What an energy body of an individual looks like who's not very well? Would you like to see all the different types of energy fields? And then I can explain those to you as part of the segment that we're going to be doing in the middle, which is learning. And also where we were saying, that sounds a bit rude, doesn't it? Sorry, was the show I watched where they were talking about when Bev went into Samson? Yes, well, yes, Pure Joy, Kiwi, Kanchuk. I did do that. But what I did was I went into his energy. I moved some of the energies around and then started changing them, pulled the energy out and moved those energies around so that I could read them. Now, unbeknownst to me, I then spoke about what I'd pulled out, which was one of the memory strands. So a memory strand, moved it around, had a look at it, and it ended up being a car accident that he'd had some time before with his children in the car. And he was quite traumatized by that. But he did say, and he caveated that by saying, Samson said, yes, anything that you want to take out and have a look at, it's fine. I don't mind what it is. I've got nothing to hide. You go ahead and have a good scrounge around in my psychic field, my energy fields, my mind, wherever you like. Just go and have a look. So I did. So yes, that was what we were talking about. And Samson then realized that this was quite a painful memory. And he mentioned that it was painful and it took him a long time to get over that. And he was then visibly distressed by it. So I had to take that and put all the energy back in again to stop his level of distress. So that is the show, the Pure Joy. That is the Samson show. I think that it's still on the archive in the Sean Atwood channel. It's I think it was one of the ones where I think it was a Friday. It was a Friday and it was all the comedians. And I just went on to say hello to everybody as I do, and then come out. Well, didn't kind of happen that way. Here we go. Let's have a look. This is Samson. Always interested. Yeah, always interested to hear your thoughts or something along those lines. That's very cute. Thank you, Samson. Yeah. This is a very interesting one. Empowered Wendy is saying also make sure that you ask your body to safely release toxins. And that's an added bonus for going out of your body. You can ask your body to realign itself, move those chakra points and use the energy to come forward and pull it up so that you have the strongest area, which is the heart chakra here, and utilize all that energy all over you so that you can then balance yourself, remove the toxins. You might find, though, that by doing that, you might end up having to have a bathroom break because that would just be the toxins being released. Let's have a look at this one. Just Jess. Oh, I like that. I like the app Insight Timer. Lots of tracks that have what you're looking for as well as guided meditations. I use it to sleep every night. Thank you for that tip there, Just Jess. I'm going to go and have a look at that because that sounds like a really nice one, especially if there's lots of beautiful music or raindrops and things like that. Very relaxing. I'm going to have a look at that. That's lovely. We've already asked about the Epstein files, which is really good. Drums can lead you into other worlds. Yes, Asria is a really professional regarding drumming and drum circles, having birthed her own drum. When she comes on with us next week, it would be a good idea if you ask some questions of Asria about drumming and what they do in drum circles and how they work it and how beautiful it is. She did share with us a while ago all her pictures of the fire and sprites and all those lovely things. So we've also got Uber Fuba. Drums are the oldest musical instrument in the world. That's true. And we've got some other very interesting ones. Can you please ask Beverly? Oh, we've asked this one already. There we go. Yep, Maria. We know that there's some, not all. There we go. Hi, Julia. No, I won't be at Mind, Body and Spirit in London this May because we're doing GSIC down in Eastbourne with Elena, Denon and Danny. So unfortunately, we won't be at the MBS. I mean, if they did decide to invite me to go, I just have to look at the dates. I don't really know. Does anybody know what the dates are? Does anybody know what the dates are? Mind, Body and Spirit? I have no idea what they are this year, but if they coincide with the GSIC down in Eastbourne, there has been a promise from Elena and Danny that there will be Starcraft in the sky. So we're going to go down and we're going to go to the show, and we will make sure that we go to the Sky Watch, which is on Saturday night in Eastbourne. And even if you're not coming to GSIC, you can come to the Sky Watch on Saturday night and sit with us and look up in the sky and watch for the starships to come and visit us and the orbs and all the other lovely things that we're expecting. Thanks, Julie. it is a nice event. Lots of walking, lots of things, lots of crystals. Oh, so nice, the crystals. Love them. So yes, if you have something to do, not something to do on that weekend, go to Mind, Body and Spirit. It's really lovely to go to. You would enjoy it. Right, drum ceremony, we've got that. Search and couldn't find the show. Don't know what that was. And we've got a fighter I trained named Grizzly, died young. He was native. We had Native American play drums at his funeral. Oh, that's lovely. This is Joseph. Hello, Joseph again. Really lovely. Still like the hat. I'm going to have to go and dig out my Stetson, I think, because you make me have Stetson jealousy. So there we go. That's really lovely, that Native American play drums at the funeral. Yes, I've seen this. It's actually beautiful, the ceremony. Thank you for sharing that with us. And we've got bass drums here. So we've got Susie with a big doggy picture. Oh, cute. Bass drums used to terrify me as a child, and I mean terrify. That's very interesting. So maybe the bass energy moves that energy in the base chakra points and further up, and just causes a level of anxiety in your energy body. Past lives, memories, there's lots of different things, lots of different aspects that are coming through from past lives. And you will have a lot of individuals that will have ancestral from maternal, paternal. They will both come in from different sides. And you will have that memory lingering from a past life, especially when you feel, oh, I think I know this before, or oh, I think I've seen that before. It's not always just deja vu. It could actually be a memory from a past life. I have a client that went to, it was Mauritius, and she'd never been to Mauritius before, and she went to an area in the square, and she knew all of the way around it. She knew what it used to look like, and she was re-experiencing a past life. Looks like we're seeing little Yum Yum. So Ron, what are you doing?
Yeah, just keep talking, Bev. That was interesting. You're talking about deja vu and people being able to move around places they've never been. Deja vu is an interesting one for me because I either have proper mad dreams about a treehouse. If anyone's ever seen Swiss Family Robinson, imagine that kind of treehouse and a shipwreck, and it's a Taylor Swift's there, and it's a whole madness. It's either that dream or it's weird dreams that I remember having, and I remember having them because the moment that I've dreamt is happening, if that makes sense. So let me just...
Because we've got Laura May that's talking about her past life in the drum circle. So when I might just put that on the screen and we can see what she's saying. So Laura May is saying, I was hung as a witch in the past. At a drum circle, heading through the woods, I collapsed and couldn't remember who I was for a minute. I was crying, thinking, no, don't hang me, and dropped to my knees. So that's obviously the energies from the drumming created that schism that allows that energy to come through and bring you an immediate memory of a past life. Laura May, you might find it very interesting to do some QHHT, so quantum healing, hypnosis therapy, to have a look at some of those aspects, because that would be extremely interesting.
If you would like a reading from Ron, I'm going to do a side chat reading, right? Can you put like smiley face emoji if you would like a reading, because I'm very much gravitating and wanting to see if I get pulled to something. So then I'm going to go back to Discord, then I'll come back here. But Bev, you keep doing exactly what you're doing.
So there's DJL Chino. We have regular drum circles on the beach. Oh, where is here? That sounds amazing. Imagine doing drum circles on the beach. That's fantastic. And then we've got different drums. Yes, shamanic drumming. Is there more than one? Oh, look at that. Asria's come back to us and says, yes, I can show you guys. Oh, yes, that will be fantastic. Asria, if you can bring the drum that you birthed and then show everybody on the show and explain what you did, that would be amazing. I'm sure everybody would like to see what a real drum was, how it started, what you did with it. And I think you said it took a couple of days, if I remember correctly. So I personally don't do drumming, but I know that it was a very special process with the ceremony and everything, and I'm sure that'll be lovely, Asria. Yes, thank you very much. Bring it for the next week's show, please. That would be fab. And get all your questions ready, everyone, for when Asria brings her drum. I think she even calls the drum by a particular name, possibly. So it's going to be a good one. It's a lovely drum. Nice sound too. Nice voice. So let's have a look. Oh, someone's saying, come on, Ron. So Ron, you better move and do yourself something.
I'm just sorting something for my wonderful fiance that I've seen her say.
Oh, did she come up? The cards speak differently to each reader. Yes, that's true. They do speak differently.
Okay, I think the mods may have already done it. Sorry to talk over you, Bev. Sorry.
That's all right. Don't worry. Somebody has said here, Ron, you crack me up. Oh, that is funny.
Right, thanks, Keza. Right, nice one. Oh, I mean, that's harsh language. I don't know what was going on there, but thank you for acting faster. Now, excuse me. Excuse me, what is going on here? Little scamp. Okay, okay.
What was the question?
Yeah, and Ron doesn't need a question. He's
Did
just channeling.
you doing just a pull, or are you just pulling cards, or is there somebody that asked a particular question of the cards?
Well, I asked people who would like a reading, and then the person that I get a something for, there's a few of them that I've bookmarked. I'm doing the first one just now. And to be honest, what I'm doing right now is trying to see if these blind readings are right. Questions are easy. That gives you something to try and shape. I want to try and I'm doing it Ron's weird way. So
do we know the first name of the person that you are pulling cards for?
Well, I'll tell you right now. It is
Who
Natasha
is the lucky
Fenton.
person?
It's Natasha Fenton, right?
Natasha Fenton. Oh, you're very lucky today, Natasha Fenton. You're getting lots of energy.
Problem from the past, okay, stems from an obsession. Okay. I don't know if it could be a multitude of things, but Natasha, obsession seems to be a massive issue from something in the past that is one of the biggest things that's affecting you moving forward. Now, it could be interpreted in various ways, but the next card, how to move and build away from that, was emotional awakening, intuition, and following your heart. So I don't know if you had a difficult choice or if it was something that was pushed upon you. But that's what I've pulled. Now, give me a second. And again, I'm happy to be wrong. But obsession to me in this scenario, all I'm getting is a sensation of almost like you were being dragged down by something. And it wasn't until there was this almost a journey of following your heart that got you away from it. Okay. Okay, so it was somebody was obsessed with you. It was that obsession. Interesting. Okay, hang on.
So then Natasha would benefit from some form of clearing, particularly because of the PTSD. And also, if there's any nightmares from the being a victim of grooming as a teen, to remove all of that energy so that it no longer causes a blockage for Natasha going forward. Because she has said, I'm currently practicing in all that is, I was a victim of grooming from a teen, which has then held me back.
I would say there's a clear warning of making sure all your decisions are from your heart. There's no outside influence. Because in order for you to move, I don't want to say forward, but in order for your journey to be the most successful, you have to be brutally true with yourself. And I mean, when you ask these things, what is the best course of action to have the biggest success to move away from this obsession, this dark part? It's emotional awakening, intuition, following your heart. That's at the center of it. But it's backed up with the fact that if you don't, it could be detrimental. I don't know if any of that makes sense, but let me know.
Natasha.
If it does. No, hang on a sec. Yeah, Natasha, sorry, yeah. Let me know. I'm on my way and work with my guides currently. Interesting. Again, okay, thanks, Natasha. As long as it made sense in some way, at least, because the obsession one's a hard one. And also as well, I don't, how much can you really expect somebody to talk about themselves in a side chat on a live stream if it's something really dark and traumatic and all the rest of it? Okay, so Bev, do some questions while I retune myself, please, if you can. I'm sorry to tell, I'm not giving you orders, Bev, I swear to God. Please, Bev, if you don't mind, could you do some questions?
I'll just pinch your bum. I'll pinch your bum. It's all right. Abundantly empowered. Have you heard of the telepathy tapes? And non-verbal autistic children can read their mother's mind. And that's mind-blowing. Yes, it is. Yes, I have heard of the telepathy tapes. So much so that we have been inspired to undertake our own set of investigation with the help of many volunteers. We're going to be looking at the difference of energies in individuals.
Ron's still here. He's taking off his shirt.
Oh, okay. With individuals that have ADHD up to a particular age group. And we're going to be asking the same questions of each of these individuals. And then at the time, create an energy pattern to say what is the difference. And when we present the findings, we'll have the picture, an image of the toroidal field and the individual. Obviously, the name of the person won't be shared, but then we'll have like an arbitrary number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and that will be that particular person. It will say whether it's male or female, and that it's an ADHD individual and the age. And then we'll go down all of that individual information so that everybody knows what an energy field, what is the difference. And I think that later we will be able to see where the energy is compressed around the mind, the third eye, and this top area. We're thinking that that is where that energetic level comes in and then starts impressing upon the mind, which means that that's where the telepathy comes from. So that's a really good question there, abundantly empowered, because we're going to be doing all of that research. And then we will not only share it here on this channel, but we also intend to share it with the doctor when she put forward the paper that she's written on the non-verbal autistic children, the telepathy tapes. We'll send that through to them to say, based on your research, this is what we've done as far as energy fields go. And hopefully they will enjoy what we're doing as much as we enjoy the telepathy tapes.
Yeah, the telepathy tapes, like they are crazy. Like it's one of those things. How do we continue? How do people continue denying stuff? You know what I'm saying? Serious Poems, you're up. You're up. Okay. So, serious poems. I'm just going with a very generic issue from the past that can be fixed by a mindset adjustment moving forward. Very much a general, how can I have the most positive outcome, the path to be on? And the problem is today for tomorrow. So I don't know if you're somebody who second guesses a lot. I don't know if you're somebody who feels like every single decision is an ongoing conversation inside your own head. It's almost like there's two voices. It's almost like that is more comforting, possibly, than possibly you would rather get deep and meaningful in your own head with others than with others, or find a different way of expressing that so you don't have to verbalize maybe. Oh my God, am I just waffling nonsense on the internet? Where are we? Serious poem. Okay, I'm here. Spot. Oh God, Jesus Christ. All right, okay. So then solutions. So the first card I drew was this. And then the rune said it's going to take more than one card. So we did two. So the first, oh wow. Like why?
Don't
why?
edit it. Don't edit it. Just allow
I'm
it to come. Spit it,
I'm not.
spit it
I'm
out.
not,
Whatever's
I'm not,
in there.
Were you? Do you have like a central core of people now that never existed before? And was there like a loneliness? Whether you were surrounded by people or not, this feeling of isolation and self-doubt. But then you're either going to come to fruition through inner self-discovery, right? Yeah, I think that's what it is. The isolation. And what has set you free is a soul tribe, people feeling accepted. That's what it is. That's what it is with you now. You need to embrace your soul tribe. How does that mean anything? Let me pull a crow. Like serious poems, let me know where I'm at with that. I feel like I could say more. Yeah, the isolation was a huge thing. I'm hoping you're still there. Oh my word. And the last car is sore. So this is, it's almost like a journey that I'm seeing here, right? From the self-doubt and this being in your own head to this isolation and this suffering and this need for a realignment. But it's not until you make that journey yourself with that soul tribe that, like the card says, you will soar. I know that sounds super cheesy, but sometimes they're just blunt. So let me know if that is even. I do fly each night. I astral project out of my body experience. Well, then that you take more from that than makes perfect sense. Does it though? Right? Or are you pandering? Are you being like, oh, I've made it fit. Oh, I've made it fit. I've managed to interpret it. Like when I was talking about the self-doubt and the talking in your head, right? Was it that isolated you? Was it yourself? Was it self-doubt? Was it a was it self-inflicted, this doubt that led to this isolation? Let me know. Let me know. Give me some feedback though. All right. Don't just tell me it was good. Like if I was wrong on bits, let me know. If things make sense. No, not so much. No, not so much self-doubt. Okay. So if not self-doubt.
Sorry, excuse me. Update or feedback in the chat, please, so that we know. And we've got Kate Snyder with us. Look at that. Kate, lovely to see you here. We absolutely love you to bits. Thank you for all the good work that you do over there in America. And I'm so glad that you're laughing with us and enjoy what we're saying and sending you lots of love too over there in America. And I do laugh because everybody is saying, take it back. You know, when I said to you, take it back, take it back, take it back. When you say silly words about yourself, take it back. You see, everyone agrees with me. Ha!
Interesting.
Right.
Yeah, that is
Oh,
interesting.
this is too funny.
Thank you.
Look at this one. Listen to your Jedi. There you go. Padawan.
Oh yeah. Now, see, for me, it's refining that interpretation. Okay, because it was very much a battle with yourself. And it's good that this is live because I'm going to go back to all of these readings and listen to the first few thoughts I had and see if any of the other crap I said made any difference. And if I just need to say what the first few things, then shut up. You see what I mean?
Don't change your mind. Maybe say to this person also, question yourself about imposter syndrome, because that's what I got with that card. But anyway.
We'll see. Because I'm freaking smart enough to know what that is, Bev. All right, Jesus, I couldn't even spell imposter or syndrome. I had to ask. I ranted at Bev for 5 minutes about how stupid the word psychic is today. Stupid. You need to be psychic to know how to spell that. Stupid word. Right. Anyway. Stupid word.
And I was very good. I just kept quiet, didn't I?
Yeah. You're very much like the patient care worker while the crazy person is screaming at a bush. Okay. Very good. You're very patient. You do very well. Okay. So yeah, do you know what, DJ? Yeah.
Oh, yes. Why don't you do one for DJ? Come on, do one for DJ.
So, DJ,
absolutely.
I'm going to do one for you on what to avoid this week. What to avoid in your up and coming this month. What to avoid this month and the best way of avoiding it this month. That's what I'm going to do. We're going to try something a little different here. So what is on the cards for you to avoid? Okay, what's it going to be? What's it going to be for DJ Alessino? What does he need to look at? What does he need to look out for? All right.
Well, we've got Mercury and Pluto this week anyway,
so
that's always chaotic.
Interesting. Now, is this a literal sense? All right. So how do we avoid that? In fact, no, is it?
What was the card? Was that the card there, the one that you've got there, right there? Is that the card that you pulled first for DJ?
Hang on.
Which was the card?
Is it human oriented? Is it a human interaction? Is it vehicles? Is it relationships? All right.
Was that card there, Ron, that's next to the coin? Is that a card that you just pulled?
Yeah, let your boy cook, Bev. Let your boy cook.
You can cook while I'm still talking.
All right. Interesting, Bev. Interesting. So, DJ. Holy moly. DJ, is there, right, a relationship, right, that you're currently in work? Because there's you're fated to suffer this month. Okay. You're fated to suffer. Now, it seems like it's not like you're going to be hit by a bus. It's not something that's going to be a random person, like a mugging or anything random like this. I mean, I'm speculating. It could be, I don't know, but things happen. But it was focused on a relationship, right? So there's a relationship, okay, that possibly that you feel like if you start feeling oppressed or that there's a feeling like there's something not right with the person that you're interacting with, whether it's a work thing, maybe it's a relationship or a family member, you need to 100% stick to whatever your gut feeling is. And that's what you need to do. And if you're looking for something, if there's something that you've been wanting to will into existence, I feel like proving to the universe that you can stand to your own critical thinking when it comes to this relationship, that'll bring forth the thing that you're wanting to manifest. For the love of God, does any of that make sense? Because I have literally no idea what any of that means, but I need to know if that makes sense.
Did you also get at all that there's in items that have been hidden, whether externally or internally, and there's items that will come to the surface based on the imagery of some of the cards?
Do you know, DJ, do you know what? It's not even about me answering a question for you. This is the first one. It's destined to suffer. Okay, which was what is it you need to avoid this month? Okay, and it was some form of suffering. Okay, and I asked it if it was a critical situation for your life. No. Okay, not in a end game scenario. Then I asked, what is the best way for you to avoid this suffering? And it came up with critical thinking and freedom, release, reclaiming power, which suggests the feeling of oppression in that scenario. Here are the cards: 27, cage, and 35, specters. And then the outcome, if you stick to this path, seems to be luck. And again, I'm refining my skill sets here, everybody. If you think, oh my God, this guy does things in a way that's ridiculous, I apologize. This is just my interpretation of this skill set. And does anything I've said, any of the imagery or any of the words have any sort of residency at all? I'm following, but I think what the cards are suggesting is very personal. Listen, don't listen to me. You listen to them. As long as you get something from it, I don't need to know if I'm right or wrong. But as long as this makes sense to you, do you know what I mean? You don't need to explain anything at all. You can just say, hey, Ron, that was like 80% on the ball, 20% nonsense or whatever. Yes, but it's very personal. All right.
That's perfect. DJ, we really hope that you enjoyed that. And that was a really good reading that covered many, many different areas. So let us know in the chat. And we always like to hear some form of feedback. So I noticed individuals in the chat are saying about Gene Hackman. I'm going to look at the late Gene Hackman later. And I'm probably going to do a quick video at some point about the Gene Hackman area around him of where he was found, because I think that that's key. It's something that they're not necessarily saying. Also, I got this amazing, like, it's like a dome made out of glass. So I want to see whether there was anything in the house where they both were, where the dome of glass was, because that's something that I had seen as well and wondered how did that play into what had happened to both of them. So yes, we're going to be doing a look at Gene Hackman and others. We've got some really, really nice comments.
One second. Listen, DJ, listen to me, right? You know, whatever it is, okay, you need to stay true to yourself in this. It's almost like there's going to be a little moment where if you feel someone is trying to push you back, you need to just be assertive. Okay. It's not, I mean, I went down the whole, is a bus going to get you? Is a person going to get you? No, it's very much an interaction from a relationship that if you can just, I feel like almost suck it up and push through it with your own strength and you stick to your guns almost, that there should be a reward in the form of luck of some kind. And again, I sound like a crazy lady at the sideshow, okay? But that's all I'm going to say. And I'm going to go back to shuffling. Okay, I'm going to Discord next as well, everybody. And
there's so many lovely comments. Laura May is saying, I love myself and love the adventures of life, but I'm going through hell with love, glowing a torch as I travel. Oh, there we go. That's really lovely. And then we have, again, we have one of the mods. I think it was, yes, one of the mods. Really takes rewiring the brain. James Collins Cares has been great at bringing some of that self-love shift. That's really lovely. Well done, James, that you're helping individuals to shift as well into the love gear. We need that right now, particularly because there's lots of light, and light sheds on all areas. Nothing goes untouched.
Well, remember,
really
if
lovely.
you're wanting to spread the love, on the 14th of March every year, it is Steak Day. So remember, Steak it is, Google it, 14th of March, okay? The best day of the year. Best day of the year. Yeah, anyway. Yeah, 100%. So I'm just gonna drag someone in on Discord in a minute, all right? But is it I?
Right. We're getting a lot of individuals asking about remote viewing techniques.
Okay, yeah.
And remote aspects. And I think now is the time to say that I will be creating a special show, which is called Remote Viewing Alliance. And in the Alliance show, we're going to start off with different techniques. And we're also going to do what we call a target. And there'll be a number in the beginning of the show, which everybody can try after putting their feet flat on the ground and concentrating on the number, and then just write down the first few feelings, impressions, everything that you feel around that target. So it could be anything. It could be blue, it could be smoke, it could be clouds, it could be water, it could be the feeling of cold or the feeling of hot, because then towards the end of the remote viewing session, which is only going to be for an hour, we will then reveal the picture, because it will be a picture, and we will reveal the picture, and then you can tick off how many items in the picture that we use as the target picture, how many items in the picture you got right, and those are called hits. So we will be having a lot of fun with the remote viewing show, which was going to launch next week. And so keep a lookout for it. And it's going to be lots of information. And I think what will be loads of fun is if you put into the chat what you picked up about the target. So if you picked up, hot and sunny and mountain and stream and road, put that into the chat. And then towards the end, we will then reveal and we'll put it onto the screen. And then we can talk through what would be considered a hit and what is the changes within the hits. So sometimes when you pick up the picture, some things are not quite clear. So if there's a little house in the picture, it might have, and we zoom into it, we see, oh, it's got a red roof. So you might see, red roof. And you might have put red roof. So we might have to zoom in. So these are what I do in my classes. We have a target picture and then we zoom into each of the areas to have a look at what else might be in there. So we had one once with a stream, and around the side of the stream, there was this tiny, tiny little bridge and a tiny little path. And a lot of the trainees in remote viewing had picked up a pathway, a bridge, a trickle of a stream, wooden bridge was some of them as well. And those are all hits because when we zoomed into the photograph that we'd used, we could see this tiny little bridge and these tiny little foot things and a little, little wooden section on the side of the stream. So we're going to do that. And I think if you would like to participate, it's going to be a lot of fun.
Sniffed the lavender too hard and it almost made me sneeze. Oh, man.
Lavender will do that to you.
Yeah, it will. Okay, so Pam on Discord, turn your mic on if you are aware that I'm talking to you on this live stream. Pam, are you there? Now I'm going to do something different with Pam if she's here. I don't know. She maybe Pam likes ham. Oh, she's here. Pam, You're here.
Yes.
I'm going to do something different with you. I'm going to put the spirit box on whilst I'm doing your reading, right? Because I think that would be quite interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm here.
So everyone just forgive this horrible noise for a minute.
Okay.
All right. So, Pam, how are you?
Yeah.
How are
I'm
you?
good. Oh, when you gone?
Yeah.
What have I done? Hold on.
Nothing. I pulled you in for a reading because you wanted a reading.
Yeah.
So
I'm good.
I feel like you've got a question though that you want to ask about, right?
Hold on a second. Do you know what? Just give me 1 second. I think I need to put you on loudspeaker.
All right.
You know what? Just give me 1 second. I think I need to put you on loudspeaker.
Yeah, no problem. We'll just the whole podcast will just wait for you, mate. Don't worry. Don't feel like
Oh,
you need
yeah,
to be,
I don't know how you do
don't
it.
have to be set. I'm busting your chops. Don't feel like you need to be ready or anything like that. We're happy to wait. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Don't worry.
Just give me a second.
Okay, well, no problem. No problem. No problem. So here we are, everybody, in the close-up of Ron's hands. They're a bit claw-like. Let me just take them away. That's a lot of zoomed in Ron. Pam has now disappeared. So, Pam, I'm going to give you one more try, okay? Okay. Beverly, your mic's off.
Yep. No, Pam is just walking to the side.
no.
She'll be back. Don't worry.
I need to try. Pam, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Pam, listen.
There you go. Told you.
How are you doing? How you doing, Pam?
Yes.
Brilliant. So can you hear me? Just to confirm you can hear me.
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right. So you wanted me to do a reading, right?
I did, yeah.
Do you have a question? Can you hear me? Just to confirm. And turn the stream off as well. Or pause it.
Oh.
So do you
hold on.
or just mute it so you can still watch it. But do you have a question in your head that you've been wanting an answer to?
Yeah.
All right, let's
To do.
No, don't. I don't want to know what it is.
Okay.
I don't want to know what it is.
Okay.
Is it something? In fact, no, never mind. Never mind. Just give me a second. Has it got something to do with an unknown truth?
Gosh,
So your question in your head,
yeah,
does it stem from either someone lying or a cover up or an indecision? Is it like a fear of the unknown almost?
yeah, that would be it. The fear of the unknown.
And is it something that you already know the answer to, right? Wait, stop. I retract that last one.
Okay.
Don't worry, just give me a second.
Otherwise,
Is this in any way a situation where this question and the answer to it,
mhm.
hang on, has it got something to do with stepping forward and some sort of fear of rejection?
Yeah, yeah.
All right. It does not help me, cards.
The cards are not helping you.
No, this is one where they want me to work for it now.
Oh, okay.
Does it
Okay.
not? I'm just gonna throw this out there, and it probably means
Okay.
nothing. But the number 11 or 2 doesn't mean anything in this, right?
Um,
And again, don't worry if it doesn't. I'm just going to the obvious for a second.
It could be, because we don't ever get any time where we get the information from. So it could be 2 weeks, 11 days, or 2 months and 11 months. It could be telling you the time frame.
Could be.
Could also be that there's somebody
All
with a
right.
birthday or a special event in 2 days or 2 months, or 11 days and 11 months.
Okay.
That is key
So
in this reading.
we have this situation, right?
right.
The original card, and then we have this. The fear. It was fear of acceptance. I said, right? Was that what I said?
Yes.
Okay. Now,
What? Yeah, you said fear of rejection.
fear of
I think.
rejection. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Fear of rejection.
Yeah.
But that rejection's based off of a truth. Like,
Yeah.
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 Okay. It's nothing like finding out who parents are or anything like that.
No.
Okay.
But it is a secret.
But it is a secret.
Bev, do you know something I don't know? Just joking. Huh?
Give me. I'm gonna pull one more card, and you can tell me if all this
Right.
makes sense. Again, for me, as long as it makes sense to you,
Yeah. Yeah.
let's see what the crows advise for you to best manage this situation. So crows, we're looking for guidance on how to manage here. Don't screw this up. Preparation. So a lot of time and thought
Yeah.
and planning will produce the best outcome for
Right.
whatever your question is. Do you want to talk about what the question was, or do you want to just keep it to yourself?
No, I could talk about it. I think
Okay.
what it is it's kind of linked with the two. I'm thinking it was just my birthday on the 2nd of March, so that was just last
That's the
week.
two then. Yeah.
I thought,
Yes, that's a
yeah,
little confirmation tidbit.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Oh,
But you see, shall I just say to you what it is? Is obviously because they're both kind of linked. Because I've been thinking about both of these things.
okay.
And what it is my ex passed away 2 years ago.
That's the two.
So that's two. Yeah,
Mm.
he passed away 2 years ago. Obviously, I haven't come to terms with the fact that he's passed away. Still, I'm still kind of, grieving for him. But then also, it's like,
It's like you've been stripped bare emotionally and laid
yeah,
naked
yeah,
to the stars, because that's what this card is.
yeah. And
Right.
also, the rejection part is like, even though I always say, like, he must have been my soulmate, which I didn't know at the time. But obviously,
Yeah,
I
that was
realized
the secret. That was the secret, you see. That was the
Hey,
secret.
hey. You're not having any stupid dark thoughts or anything, are you?
No, 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 no. All it is because he accepted me for me. And I, a while ago, I got a neurological illness. And
Okay.
obviously now I'm because I'm in a wheelchair, but because he accepted me, it was like he loved me for me. And so obviously we split up, he passed away. Even though I still loved him, there was a reason why we had to split up. But it's the fact that I think to myself, because of my illness, it's like I've lost him. And I feel that no one's ever gonna love me. So I feel like no one's ever gonna, that rejection part is
Yeah.
that bit. Like, will I ever meet anybody? And if I do, will they reject me
No,
because of the fact that
no.
I have an illness?
You,
Yeah.
I'm going to say this now.
Yeah.
Acceptance for you will come with harmony. Once you've accepted everything and who you are now, that's going to be the next step in your awakening, is once you come to terms fully with everything and learn to
Yeah.
love yourself.
Okay.
Because it says harmony, acceptance, and patience. So it's going to take time. It's going to take time
Okay.
for you to fully accept everything that's happened.
Yeah.
And contemplation,
Okay.
search for truth, inner guidance.
Yeah.
These are other words on the cards. I'm just reading them out loud. And preparation as well. There's 2 crows. There's the number 2. 11 has 2 ones. There's 2
Yeah.
half suns and 2 halves make a whole on these cards here. So symbolisms of 2 that make a whole are prevalent.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
it's
Yeah.
always said, I mean, Bev has said this, there's so many versions of every person, right, that exist in this world. And that energy
Yeah.
will find you again, I think. And that's the most hocus pocus romanticized ending to a reading I've ever done, mate. Right?
You got me in tears. What are you talking about?
Yeah, I'm getting a little bit. Yeah, I think that's what it is. I think oh God. Now listen, you can call me, you can say this as the charlatan side, right? But we could just
Yeah.
add on for extra flair that
Yeah.
we have a female skeleton with the hood up, the male skeleton on the card with the hood down, the 2
Yeah.
crows together, and the one period in your life where you were left alone and laid bare to the world. Once you accept and love yourself, I think that's when that energy will come back to you.
Okay.
How about that?
Thank you.
And
It
I'd
makes
like to
sense.
say I'm sorry for your loss too.
Oh God, yeah. Also,
Yeah.
I'm really sorry for your loss. But for me,
Thank you.
I just want to say thank you for sharing all that, Pam.
I
And
appreciate it. Thank you for the reading.
And
Alright.
Pam, when you go back and rewatch it, listen very
Yeah.
carefully to hear whether there was somebody saying hello during the broadcast.
oh yeah, I was meant to put the spirit. That's weird because I was going to put the
Okay.
spirit box on, and I didn't know why I wanted to put the spirit box on, but then I forgot to put it on because I'm not a bad word. I just forgot, and that's okay. Love yourself,
Oh,
everyone.
bless.
That's so
Okay.
weird.
Let us know, Pam, because I think you'll hear the word hello definitely coming through.
Okay.
Like
I don't know.
We'll
Somebody did say that he visits me. He visits me on my birthday.
good.
I don't
Well,
know
he
if
would have
that's
been there on the
anything
second,
relevant.
wouldn't he?
And my birthday
Yeah.
was just last week. I don't know.
It is. Happy birthday for last week, but make sure you go back and
will.
rewatch this section, because I'm pretty
Okay.
sure that you will hear somebody saying hello. In fact, I'm 100% sure you will. And then next week, let us know what you heard, okay? And that's the same for side chat. Go back and listen
Thank you.
carefully and see whether there was a hello that came out, because he did try to make contact.
yeah, well,
Oh, bless you. Thank
the
you.
spirit box was on for a fraction of a few seconds at the start, Pam, when your microphone was
Yeah.
going crazy. So
Yeah.
that would be an interesting one to see. But that's it. But see, for me, it's easy
Yeah.
once you hear an emotional story to make the two halves of a moon and laid bare and that is, it's great. But for me, it's the parts where I didn't know anything. That
Yeah. But you did good.
thank you,
You
Pam.
did. Thank you.
Pam,
I appreciate it.
well, listen,
And you, Beverly. Thank you so much.
The
you're
pleasure,
welcome, Pam.
honey.
Brought you back into the
Okay.
nether realm. Oh man, how do you like? Oh man, like
I think you did very well, Ron.
that
I
one made me a
do.
bit sad. That one made me a bit sad. I'm not gonna lie. That one did make me a bit
Yeah,
sad.
but that's being a natural empath. You've empathically picked up the pain and the suffering. So that
Yeah, I
is
don't like that.
because
How do we fix that? How do we become a stone cold meanie? No, okay, no. I'm
No,
kidding.
you don't come a stone cold meaning. You just do some protection. But that's what we'll do, is we'll do some protection. We've been asked to do an infusion of positive healing energy at the end of the show. And because I'm going to go off and go and have some foodies, because I've had no foodies all day, because when I'm working, I don't eat food, I just drink. I'm going to give everybody some great healing, especially for all those that need it. So you can take
Erica.
whatever you want.
Yes. Sorry, Bev. Oh God, I'm so
Yeah,
sorry. Bev.
I'm going to get going. So I'm going to do this last bit and then do
Yeah.
Erica's reading.
Yeah. Erica, if you scroll back to the start, you were the first reading that I done and you weren't here. Okay. So I'm just saying your reading's there. Scroll back, find it. It's the first set of cards I pull. Or was it? Yeah, no, it was definitely you. Scroll back. We'll find what the first two cards were. See if it makes sense. I'm going to be quiet now, Beverly. Ron's probably going to do a couple more of these. I'm not going to lie. So
You, by all means, stay, but I'm going to have food, and
Yeah.
I'm going to do this for everybody now in the chat and anyone else who wants it, especially for those that we've done readings this evening, that Ron has done readings. So put your feet flat on the ground. If you would like it, absorb it, because I'm doing a really nice one this evening. And if you feel that it's not for you, then just close your energies so that nothing goes in, and just act as an observer, which is also absolutely fine. It's called free will. So here we go. I'm going to move the energy up from below, take the energy around this area here, move it around, and I'm using heart chakra energy at the moment and turning it around, moving it into a ball, collecting some of the light that I have here at the top, moving those together and moving this around. And here it comes. May you bring all the light to everyone that's listening and everyone that needs it. Take that energy from my heart chakra and out to yours. May you feel far better than you did earlier this morning to everyone that needs it. And see you next week, and enjoy the week ahead and come up with some ideas. I'm going to do meditation because you've asked for it.
I'm pretty confident I could kick Harry Potter's ass at this stage. Okay, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good, Bev.
Well, considering Harry Potter's just a character in a movie, I think you're good.
What
Love
I would like
to everybody here.
Yeah, look, yeah, Bev, you're a legend. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Have a nice evening. Good night, everyone.
Peace out, Bev. Beep, beep, beep. All right, so Ron's going to talk to you guys. What I think, if anyone on Discord knows anyone of their friends who's a complete skeptic, who doesn't believe in any of this is all nonsense, I would like to try and do a reading on them. You know what I mean? Where there's going to be no obligation to want to make it fit, if that makes sense. Like I like the thought of everything being made difficult. You know? I really do. You're a skeptic, Ron. See, a charlatan would be like, you are from New Zealand, but you moved to Canada. Ooh. We're not going to do that. All right. All right. So, Kiwi, I'm just going to say madness here, right? And okay. So, look, just Kiwi, I'm not even going to pull any other cards. Was there something really, really messed up involving a set of parents or your parents? And was it almost something that was inflicted on you? That's it. That's all I've got. And I'll be honest with you. Like, talk to me. Kiwi. Yeah, because I don't want to play anymore. That's what it makes me feel like, bro. Or like I don't want to play anymore. Yeah, you were a parasite. You were a parasite. Is that word like that is because what I got was, is this about, what is it about your parents? Yes. Parasite. I don't want to do that anymore. I don't want to delve any more with that, if I'm being honest. But yeah, you, Canuck. Yeah, it was you. Yeah, you. That's what it was. I don't know. But you asked me to prove you wrong, and it was about, that was about you. Well, I don't know. Like, basically, it was something horrific to do with your parents, and like a feeling of being made to feel like a parasite, rejection, just in the most horrible way. Yeah, so I don't want to pull any more cards on that. Pure joy. I don't want to pull any more cards on that. So, yeah, maybe I don't want to play with skeptics anymore. Like I'm literally shaken from how that card, that parasite card, well, no, you are not a parasite, right? You're not, obviously, right? I'm not saying that's what you are, my G. Sorry. It was that card in relation to parents. Like, it was wild. Yeah. Do you know what? We're gonna do a refocus here for you, and we're going to focus entirely on. Yeah, sorry if that hurt, man. Like, you said, prove it. I went to the coin. I looked for a direction to go. It said parents, and then it came up with parasite as this horrible thing. Horrible. So, we are going to define a new path, if you'd like one. No, the word parasite, when it comes up with parents, just means not a good situation. It's horrible. Like, anything involving parents should be anything from the nice end of things. But for it to be, oh, it's about their parents. It's about their parents. What about them? Parasite. Oh, oh my God. You gotta get over the rejection, and you've got to how do you deal with love? How do you deal with love now, Kiwi? Do you struggle with it? Have you ever faked love? I'm fucking shaking. How many kids? 2 kids. 2 kids? 2 or 4 kids? And did you find did that love heal you? Because beloved, yeah, I think that's it. I think maybe the kids were a defining moment for you where you rediscovered love. Had 3 kids alone. I'm shaking. 3 sets of flowers. 3 sets of flowers. 3 sets of blossoming joy and love. Yeah, yeah. All right. All right. So yeah, there you go. And I'll tell you something, Kiwi. I shouldn't have known any of that, mate. Interesting. But Kiwi, can you just confirm that there's absolutely no way in hell that I could have known anything about your upbringing or your parents, right? And the first thing I went in on was parents. That's I just can you just confirm that to people, because I'm starting to try and debunk myself here. Shut up! Your kids are all named after flowers. Your kids are all named after flowers, and it was 3 sets of flowers. Whoa! All right. All right. Wow. That was interesting. Hang on, let me just find that card again. What the hell was it? It was beloved, right? Man, I am shaking. 3 sets of flowers. Your children are all named after flowers. Anything else here that jumps out? A 2 and a 4, or 6. February or April mean anything to you? And again, I'm just. This is wild. This is okay. So I'm using 3 different decks. They're all in front of me here. Dark Mirror is this one. Earth and Bone is this one, and then the Crows here. No, Mummy. So I completely agree with you on what Parasite means. Ron completely interprets everything differently from the cards every time. And I'm not looking for the pre-installed meaning of a card. So so don't worry. I know you're 100% correct, and I appreciate you educating us all on that. But for me, sometimes the cards have to do things really stupid for me to get what they mean, if that makes sense. So, I mean, what the hell does that all mean? What does and also the coin? I have 6 siblings, so push 2 and is it 2 boys and 4 girls, or 4 girls and 2 boys? By any chance? Just to really start splitting some hairs. I'm freaking shaking, man. The card was 24. 2 and 4 equals 6. Yes. So we got that from the 6 brothers and sisters, but is it sets of 2 and 4? A 4 and a 2. 2 brothers, 4 sisters, or something like that make the numbers relevant even further. Because adding them together for me is a bit of a push. But if we're adding them together because there's 2 of one and then 4 of the other, that makes sense. 5 rotten brothers. Okay. So, oh man. And again, it was the coin. The coin, I started listing things. No. Parent, bam, yes. And the feeling I got, you didn't ask, Kiwi. You said you were a skeptic and you wanted to believe. My son is 24. Interesting. 2 and a 4, 24. Is that your firstborn? Is that your eldest? Is he your firstborn, my G? I swear to God, if he's your firstborn and 24 came before beloved, that is the clear indication of that. In fact, just let me know. Is that your eldest? Come on, Kiwi. Freaking honestly, the build-up is too much for me, man. I'm freaking having palpitations here. Kiwi! I've always felt like a parasite. Oh my God. Kiwi, is your son your oldest child? Is it 24? No, middle. Okay. Is there something that you have a unique connection with that son? Okay, hang on a second. Hang on. Sorry, Ron is on a freaking mission here with where's that freaking card going? I gotta stop shuffling stuff. Right, wait. Kiwi's in the other chat. Oh, Kiwi's in the other chat. Sorry, everyone. I'll start putting his chats up on the screen. Just stay there, Kiwi. All right. My son was born on my dad's birthday. He is 24. So we have a 24, which is relevant. So let's just say that the 24 is confirmation that your children are your beloveds by it naming or given the age, right? Then we've got the confirmation of the 3 daughters. Is that all your children? Is it 4 children? A 24-year-old son and 3 daughters. Dude, listen, pull yourself together, okay? Pull yourself together. I'm dripping with sweat. Pull yourself together. We've got to figure this out. So, is it 4 kids you've got? 4 in total. Or 3? We're going to get through this. So 3 in total. Okay. No, 3 total. Okay. The 24 born on your dad's birthday. And the 24 of your son. Love. Intertwinement. Wow. I mean, just like that was a banger, right? I'm not gonna lie. The 3 children, the 24 as an age, the moment where you rediscovered love, the stuff about your parents, the parasitical reference. I shouldn't know any of that, Kiwi. Nothing. What was our interaction? I'm a skeptic. Prove me wrong. What's Agent Orange saying? What's he gonna be, rascal? Fifi, Rose, Roseanne, Rosebud. I'm freaking out. I mean, just wow. Yeah, they look like roses. They look like blue roses. Oh my God. Look at the thorns in the background, what we could interpret as the symbolizing of moving through that pain. But again, everything that comes after finding this out to me is like of lesser value to me. But it's fun to interpret fully, you know? Why do you? Why? What? Why do you? Why do I? All right, sorry, you're watching a live stream of a man sitting here saying nothing. Okay, staring at his hand. I need you to. Why do you funny? I don't know what you mean. I don't know what you mean, my G. But look, that was wild. That was wild. So unless I'm being trolled by everybody, that was pretty awesome. Like, again, I don't claim to be anything or anything like that. The skulls are just the theme of the deck, to be perfectly honest, Terry. It's just more of a gothic themed deck than, say, a fairy themed deck. Why did you know that? Dude, I'll be honest with you, Kiwi, it was the feeling that I got. And I didn't even want to pull any more cards. Like, the feeling was awful. It was awful. It was awful. Awful. You know, Michelle Rogers. Very possibly Michelle. I'll be honest, I'm sort of flabbergasted. Like, I'm sitting here like I feel like if I tried to do anything else, I'm not paying attention to it. Because I'm flabbergasted. Like, do you know, I might actually go back and watch that. Because I like, there's so many, like, Mazel Tov, indeed. Now, let's put the spirit box on. Let's let the content make itself for a minute. While Ron sits here and freaks out. Right, give me a minute. Changing it to, all right, microphone. All right, relax, mate. All right, hang on a second. Let me just. Just bear with me, everyone. 2 minutes. Move this other camera. Nah, honestly, listen, stuff the spirit box. Ron is freaking out, man. Like, this is wild. And like, again, Ron, I don't want a skeptic, but I don't trust nothing and no one. Listen, do you know what to trust in? You don't have to believe in anything. Believe that a guy on the freaking internet just asked a coin what your past troubles were, and it told me it was your parents, and then a card filled in the rest. Believe in that. That just happened. That just happened. Like, that just happened. Right? So let's not even talk about spirits or clairvoyance or downloads. Let's just talk about the simple thing that just happened where you said, you're a skeptic, prove it to me. And then I asked a coin and it mentioned your parents. And then, yeah. Oh, yeah, pure Kiwi, which, by the way, was what I'm going to call you. My mom, 3 years. Yeah, man. Like it's not even proof given. It's just like that was mad. You've been begging to talk to her. I mean that's maybe a bit out of my freaking league. Do you know what I mean? Here, Kiwi. Is there something that really remind? Oh no. Let's just quit while we're ahead, mate. Let's quit while we're ahead. Kiwi, next time we're on, and I've recovered from what we just did there, ask me. Nah, I'm okay with the box, Looney. Don't worry, mate. Me and the box are good. But I understand what you're saying. But nah, Ron's soul is protected, my G. Do not worry. Now, listen, where I'm doing all of this, people, nothing. It's a physical impossibility for me to be in a danger where I am right now. It's just not possible, people. And in fact, this room that I work in is the most vulnerable, but even that is so not vulnerable compared to what you're all worrying about. The stuff that Ron doesn't talk about that he's been doing 2.5 decades, and Ron's ability to make very good verbal agreements with the universe, with energy, all that stuff for protection, all that is pretty good. Kiwi, I'm sorry you're crying. I'm really sorry. I really am. But you know what, mate? You went through something absolutely horrific, and you have created 3 wonderful little lives that you can hold your head up proud and say they will never experience what you experienced. I've asked Bev to send her a message. You can send her a message, Kiwi. You just projected all of your fucking deepest, darkest madness into my brain through the freaking internet on YouTube. I'm pretty sure you'll be able to dial into your mum. You know what I'm saying? You just went, oh, prove to me that you can whatever. Boink. Wild. Can we spam some hearts in the side chat? Hearts for everyone. Okay, hearts for everyone, please. Yeah, honestly, pure Kiwi. I'm going to pretend that didn't happen. No, I'm kidding, mate. That was wild. Oh yeah, Ron is no fear of the dark at all. 0. And I tell you what, there's a lot of people out there who walk fully in the dark side. Okay. At the forefront of their mind is imbalance. It is a life of dedicated to a single narrative with no coexisting. And these individuals they often captivate people. I think there's something alluring about the dark side to some people. The lost, the weary, those who are seeking self-discovery, but want it to be this exciting. I don't know what I'm trying to say. But you all need to understand that when I talk about the dark and the balance and the gray, right? I've spent a long time working on balance. And you should all actively focus entirely on the light. Because everything that represents is just amazing. But if everyone walked in the light, who would be able to do the things that most people would be kept up at night sleeping over how they managed to do something so awful to protect someone? There's people out there that will lay down in front of danger because they don't have it in them. And in order to keep your own safe, and I don't mean your family or anything like that, I'm talking on a cosmic level. You need people that stand in the gray. And I'll tell you something, one day, maybe one day, Ron will talk about more things that he doesn't talk about why he is the way he is, and why I have zero worry about someone popping in my head or trying to influence me in any way. And it's just not a worry for me. It's not something that goes through my brain. So I'm protected. Do not worry about Ron. I just went off on a ramble there. I'm so sorry. That honestly, shut up, Ron. Spirit box. See, here's the thing, Agent Orange. Everything that you heard in that video clip from the spirit box was my way of using a spirit box, which is where the majority of what you're going to get is played back and you're slowing it down, and it's in between broadcasts, it's in between the static. It's almost like, and I don't really like this spirit box, I'm not going to lie, it's got too slow of a transition. Queen's Guard, try me. Do you know what, Queen's Guard? I will make you top of the list for next time, because my heart will not be in it tonight if I do anything else, because I'm flabbergasted. Like, what does that mean, Kiwi? Like, does that mean, like, was that you? Was that me? Are we just idiots and it was just the coin? Like, what is there to learn from how that came about? Laura May, yeah, I'll try. Listen, I'll be honest with you. This ain't a scenario where if I don't get to you, you're guaranteed next time. I'm not going to lie. But I'm just a bit flabbergasted. It's energy exchange. Okay, cool. Right, cool. So how do you then define an energy exchange and refine that skill set? And was it an energy exchange because I felt challenged to make a believer believe, and it was that mild dose of spite thrown in on my behalf? Oh, I'll show you. Do you see what I mean? There's so much to unpack just from that one little exchange. It's bad. Oh, Laura, absolutely it will. Don't worry. And my plan was to just stay and keep doing readings for the next little while, but that was a bit much. Yeah, Kiwi, I feel like we've bonded here. Like I feel like I would very much like, if I was ever in Canada, to just sit outside at a bar in silence and have a beer and be like, what was that? Do you know what I mean? I'm not over it. No, Asria, here's the thing, right? So I get what you mean by don't overthink it. So what I'm doing is analyzing. It's not doubt and it's not questioning. It's analyzing. And when I analyze these data points, Asria, it allows me to replicate a process better. It shows me, oh, well, that day where you done this 5 times and it worked really well, your hair was down, or your hair, it's weird. So it's not doubt, it's analyzing the entire algorithm of this, because I completely agree. Do not overthink, but analyzing the process is the best way I can put it, because I do get what you mean by overthinking. Or maybe I've just described overthinking. Maybe I'm a crazy person. Maybe I am that hermit on the hill. Okay, do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do a collective reading for everyone. Okay, I'm just going to do a collective reading for everyone. So everyone, this month, okay. In fact, no, this week, everybody, you all want to look out for. Okay. Okay, everyone this month, everybody this week, you want to look out for opportunities to be selfless and to atone. Okay, maybe you're going to go out of your way to help someone. Maybe you're going to, but listen, it doesn't count unless you've got an element of suffering. So it may be, oh, you swap shifts with someone and now you have to do the horrible weekend shift so somebody can go on a date. You have to suffer. Atonement, okay? Atonement. The number 31. And be aware of those who may stab you in the back. Have no mercy for those who see you as a fool, and show mercy as often as you can. But this month, we all need to be selfless and acknowledge our selflessness through suffering. Is harsh. It's a harsh term. Don't think of it as suffering as in being in pain, but it needs to, your selfishness this month needs to be a sacrifice, if you will. So going out of your way to make something happen for someone else, knowing, you know, it's a pain in the butt for you. You know what I'm saying? So sadly, everyone's got, I mean, Ron hates this sort of freaking fluffy nonsense, but yeah, we've all got to do something nice and go out of our way and help somebody. You know what I mean? So yeah. Oh, I do believe in myself. I'm just flabbergasted because that's never happened before. Like I'm flabbergasted. You know? Also, sacrifice and suffering are very strong words. So selflessness, but doing something selfless and there being a cost for you almost. You know what I'm saying? If you get to the end of the month and you haven't done anything, just pay for someone's coffee in front of you. I think that'll probably go down. I'm sure that's the cheat code for this week. Okay. If something doesn't appear for you to be selfless, pay for the person in front of you's coffee before next week's show. And that should complete the circle of the reading. Every day I suffer and every day I'm selfless. So for you, it's going to be harder then. Okay, you've got a bigger quota to fill because it shouldn't come easy. Penance and atonement is not easy. So think outside your box a little bit, psychedelic fish. You might have a different perspective on this than other people. But I'm sorry for your suffering. I hate saying stuff like that. Honestly, I am obviously, but it just sounds so like I'm sorry how I'm rambling. I'm rambling, but it's a path. Also, Kiwi, forgiveness. I mean, I'm not promoting you forgiveness to anyone. Forgiveness is hard. but it's not essential. Loving yourself is essential, and understanding that some people are absolute crap, and you don't have to forgive anyone. Anger and rage that people feel, and they're advised to let go and forgive. Why not channel when you get enraged at things, or you get angry because you find it hard to forgive? Take that boost of energy and put it into something and redefine what negative energy creation is to you. That's a tantric thing, if I'm being honest. You know, an example of that is, think about how much energy is created when you stub your toe. Like, think about it. I stood in a plug the other day, and the amount of energy that it created was unreal. The agonizing foot pain was unreal. So take away the pain and make it something that gets you physically enraged, and this energy builds up. Tantra teaches you to let go of that emotion, but harness that energy. It's really, really, really interesting. I can't remember why I'm talking about this. If this was advice to somebody, I'm sorry if I've just completely forgotten who I was talking to, or what, or whatever I was going on there. But yeah, harnessing energy and changing its hold on us, if you will. So I love my mom. Freaking love my mom. Mom's freaking awesome. Freaking awesome, mom. Yeah. I am sweaty and clammy. Talking to Kiki, my G's. Oh, is it Kiki or Kiwi? Do you mean Kiwi? Yeah, Kiwi. Honestly, as well, thank you for sharing all that and opening up, because, like, some people struggle with that, you know. It's so hard to love yourself if your mom didn't. Is that what you tell yourself? Like, is that something that resonates in your mind? It's so hard to love yourself if your mom didn't. I'm about to be a hypocrite here and tell you that internal monologues like that haunted me for a long time in my life. Convincing myself in various ways that I had no value or I wasn't worth it, even though there was no logical reason for it. I now understand it's not having a control over all of the things that make up the worst parts of a person. And all of the bullying growing up and things like this manifested into, well, if I can't say horrible things to people, I can certainly say horrible things to myself. You know? Because unless you deserve it, like, once you cross a line with me, I can do insanely terrible things and sleep well at night. But, like, the thought of calling someone a name and them getting upset, I don't think I've ever done. Like, the thought of that is just so horrible. Like, just, it's just wild, man. It's wild. It's wild. So, what the hell? I listen, I'm forgetting what I'm talking about. We're almost at 3.5 hours. I need to go and phone the wonderful Dan. I just want to say, Kiwi, I don't think I'm ever going to forget this moment. I think this is going to be the moment that I talk about for forever on this journey. I think this is quite an astronomical moment for me. I'm such a narcissist. I'm still talking about myself. Oh yeah. Also, I'm really happy that you got something from it. Jesus Christ, you are a psychopath, Ron. You are an absolute sociopath, mate. Like, total. I'm fascinated. See, I don't know if I'm a great man. I don't know if I'm a good soul. I appreciate what you're saying. But that's just my interpretation of good and greatness. So, all right. Well, put a 1 in the side chat if for the next 10 minutes when the live stream goes off, you're going to stare at a wall or call someone and try and explain what just happened. Put a 1 for stare at a wall, put a 2 for call someone, and also call someone could be DMs or chat, because great souls, I'll accept great souls. Yes. Ron, I have to go, mate. I've just scalded my hand. I need to phone 111. Okay, Jesus. All right. Well, I hope you're okay, my G. Light, love, light, blessings, and strength to you all. Yeah. Yeah. In fact, everyone can just stare that in the face. Can't complain about that. Okay, Ron, please go on to Valentine's Day. What does that mean? What does the Valentine's Day thing mean? Are you talking about in reference to what I was talking about earlier? March 14th. Listen, ladies, all I'm saying, March 14th, if you've got a man, that's the day to remember, okay? You're all awesome. Thank you for... Thank you all for just being yourselves. See, it's not even that I'm denying anything. I'm finding out in real time all of this with you guys on these streams. All of this is new things. So I'm not denying it. We're just kind of discovering it. Listen, Kiwi, be a skeptic. You're allowed to be a skeptic, but believe that that moment just happened and we can't explain it. You don't have to believe in everything. You can still be a skeptic. But you and I will never, ever be able to explain that. Ever. We will never be able to explain how I asked the coin 4 things and I can't even remember what the first 3 were. And the rest is freaking history. I'm going to go and watch this back. Yeah, man. Kiwi, much love. Mods, much love. Big shout out to Beverli Rhodes. Big shout out to the Sean Atwood crew. See you all tomorrow. Love you guys. Honestly. Peace out. Peace out, Mitchies. Yeah.